Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. We got a special guest with us tonight. How you doing, Mr. Sam Stackhouse?
I'm doing good, doing good. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Oh man, it's going to be a really good fun time tonight here. Clown's already in here. Welcome. East Coast correspondent Frankie's in here. He said evening, fellas. Also Reed Harris Cooper with us here. Yeah, everybody's signing in. Here we go.
And internet. Get the internet fund going as well.
New rigs. We're going to have to get some sponsorships. Maybe that'll be what we do.
Well, hey, that's I get some money coming our way. That
Sponsored
sounds always nice.
Well, we always have our old sponsor, B. We've got Blue Chew. We could always do that.
That's another company. I don't know if we could go on that one yet.
Oh yeah. Our rolling joke with everyone was when we were very small, like less than 10 to 20 viewers small. We were always like, well, there's always that Blue Chew endorsement. We're waiting. So yeah, we have Sam with us tonight, and I kind of want to go ahead and just get into the intro here with him and kind of catch up everyone on who Sam is. All right, everyone, here we go. Sam Stackhouse, aka Big Damn Sam, aka Silo Sam, aka One Man Sam, hailing out of Oklahoma, 35 years old, 15 years in ring experience. To me, he's this generation's master of the black hole slam. He's a rare super heavyweight. Being on the independent scene, he's also in singles matches, tag matches, battle royals, and scrambles. Sam has 36 championship titles to his name, averaging 121 days per title run. His longest title run was also his most recent, the GCW Heavyweight Championship, 342 days, just a few weeks short of a year. He's participated in 9 tournaments in his career, being a semifinalist or finalist 6 of those times, winning twice. We first saw Sam on GCW Local Fight Club Houston. This was on July 9th, 2021 versus Aaron Sykes and Facade. Since then, we've seen Sam wrestle for us a total of 29 times. 17 of those were last year. He's one half of one of my favorite GCW tag teams with Fuego del Sol. And tonight, Sam tag teams with us at Game Changer Weekly. Listeners, I wish to welcome Sam Stackhouse to the show. Welcome, Sam. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good. That was a crazy intro. I didn't know half of those things. That's crazy.
You know what? I threw it all into Google and I said, give me the good stuff on Sam, and that's what they spit out on me.
I can't believe I had 17 GCW shows last year. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're up. You're on the up and up. Yeah, you had like 3 1 year, 3 this year.
It was like 6 in 2 years, and then 17 in 1 year. It's crazy.
hey, you earned it, man. People love you. What are you gonna do, right?
Hey, I'm not complaining at all.
Keep pushing. So yeah, we can just jump into this here, and I'm going to tell some people who have listened before. Sam was one of the first people we'd ever had on the show, and Emil was right there behind him, not too far, on the same episode. Sam's been on here one other time since then, but we've never had a chance to just have just Sam by himself, no distractions, not a second or third person, just us and him having a good conversation. So tonight we finally get to have that. Thank you so much for that, dude. We do appreciate you a lot.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys.
What company did you watch first?
Like it ever?
Yeah, little kid.
Well, the first wrestling I remember watching was
ECW.
As ECW, I was like 9 or 10 or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Woo!
Yeah, that was the first thing my brother showed me, and then he started showing me more stuff. But I remember the first things I remember was RVD versus Sabu, and then I remember the Hardy Boys was the first like WWE thing I watched.
Wow! So you got that good stuff right into the veins from the beginning.
Yeah. Because everybody always talks about WCW and like the Sting and the Hogans and all that. That was not me when I was a kid. I found all that stuff later. I didn't see any of that stuff till later on. So that wasn't what I was into when I was younger. I like it now.
I have to ask, like, for something like that, like, Was it because like you didn't just see wrestling, or like none of your friends talked about it, or you just didn't like you heard about it and you just weren't into it at that time?
Well, we never had cable, so I never got to watch WCW.
Okay, that too.
So,
Okay.
yeah, and then like my brother, there's a big age difference. So my brother was like an adult when I was still like 10, 11 years old. So that he would get the pay-per-views and stuff, and I'd go to his house and watch them. And that he's the one that got me into wrestling. That's how I started watching wrestling, was at the pay-per-views at his house.
Oh, sweet. So then I'm guessing you had an older dad then.
Yeah. My dad was we have my brother, and I've got a brother and two sisters, and they all have the same dad, and I have a different dad. But my dad was 63 years old when I was born. So
no kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
See, and I thought my dad was older. He was 42 or 45.
Yeah, my dad was 63. My mom was 35 when I was born.
Wow, whatever he said worked,
an accident. Huh? Yeah, I was an accident. There was no way. Because I was starting kindergarten when my brother was graduating high school. That's how because my brother is I think 15 years older than me. My sister's 14 years older than me. My other sister's 13 years older than me.
No kidding.
Got locked up doing another 18 years after doing the first 18.
Pretty much. Yeah, she had them all in a row too. You know, she got all the stuff knocked out around the same time, and then here I came along.
You were probably a pretty good kid though, right? I don't feel like you're a troublemaking kind of.
No. And like I said, there's such an age difference. I was pretty much an only child from the age of like 8 or 9 till I was grown.
Wow.
But
that's so cool. I don't think we got that out of you last time. I really think that's cool of you to share that, man. Yeah. I grew up with an older dad, so I didn't really have a whole lot of time with him. He passed away younger.
I was 6 and a half, I think, when my dad done it. Yeah.
I was still in high school, and it's just different, man. No, geez Louise, I didn't know that. Threw me off. Okay. Let's see here. There was 1 or 2 questions I want to sneak in here a little bit too, because I know there was a couple who let's see.
I'm about to say we got Clown here with the first hard-hitting question of the night. We got to hit you real hard here. Has the Titantron been opened, or is it still mint in the box?
It's still in the box. It's still in the box.
Thank you, Clown.
Telling you, man.
That was good.
I'm not gonna open it unless I get like all of the things, because then I'll like the figures with the little metal things on the bottom of their feet. Yeah. If I get those, then I'm definitely gonna play with it.
Have you started to collect them?
No, I need to find. I got the one that came with it. I had them all when I was a kid, but I got to re-find them. That's next on my list. That and model airplanes. That's what I'm going to try to find from now on.
Really?
Yeah, I had a big thing for airplanes right now.
Well, you were doing some flight simulator stuff and everything.
Oh yeah. I've always liked airplanes, but it's been pretty hardcore lately. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness. Gosh, I felt like there was something else I was going to ask you in regards to that, but that's okay. Yeah. So you said you didn't have cable. Funny thing, I didn't for a while. I was lucky to have, like, right as the Monday Night Wars were really kicking off. You know what I mean? We moved into a town, and then the town, because I was always on a farm, so it was whatever was picking up off the antenna. Yeah. And you know how exciting that can be.
Yes, I used to watch SmackDown all the time because it was on like UPN. I used to watch it all the time then, but we didn't get cable until I was like 16, and we got it because my mom got a job at DirecTV, so we got it for free.
Oh damn! Wow. Who were your favorite wrestlers at that time?
I mean, growing up, like Umaga is probably on the top of my list. I've looked like ever since I got to shave my brother's hair one time because he bet me for when the main event of Mania or whatever, for the hair versus billionaire match or whatever. I shaved my brother's head and he knew what he was doing. He knew he picked the one that would let me win. But I had to go against Umaga on that one. But Umaga's my jam. Jeff Hardy was my first favorite wrestler, for obvious reasons.
When you did the hair versus hair bet, how long was your hair at that time? Did you have a lot to lose, or
yeah? Because when I was younger, I had like a fro going on, so I had a lot of hair. Hair. It would have been
curly headed. You a curly headed boy or no?
I am. Yeah, it's not now. It's not as bad as it was. When I was a kid, I hated it because I was like, I have this little like long ponytail thing now. It's the hair I've always wanted, but when I was younger, it just grew out. like no matter what I did, it would just grow out this way. Like I had a fro so big I got it cornrowed in high school before. It was terrible. It was a horrible idea. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad.
You better watch what you say that. Some of our viewers found John Wayne Murdoch's inactive what's it called, Instagram, and found some pictures out there. Someone's gonna find a picture of you in those cornrows now.
Luckily I'm still my old man, so we didn't have like I was at the very beginning of like camera phones. Anyway,
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm good. There's not a lot of evidence of my high school career.
I had a quick question just regarding, you said Umaga, because that's like a very not random answer. Like it's cool. Like I love Umaga and like everything that he was. Did you happen to see him before he was Umaga as Jamal, or did you just first see him as Umaga?
I saw that later, but the first thing I saw was Umaga, and then because that's why I do the heel kick, was because he did the heel kick. That's the whole reason I started doing that.
That 3-minute warning, I love that little group and that whole idea. That was a good idea.
Okay, so you're sitting around the TV as a kid. What's the one memory you do have? Was there a championship win that comes to mind? Was there anything special you can remember? Looking around the room, maybe was there anyone watching it with you sometimes?
I remember we have a like a grocery store here called Reese's that used to have a video rental place, and I would get the pay-per-views like 2 or 3 months after they would put them on. They were still on VHS tapes. Jesus Christ. But I would rent those, and I got the one where Undertaker threw Mankind off the cage, and I'm pretty sure that's the moment that I fell in love with wrestling. So like I liked it before then, but then after that I became obsessed with it.
So you're watching. Were you playing any sports through high school?
I played football, but I played football all the way up till high school, and then when I was in high school, I was a big old band nerd. So I pretty much. What
instrument?
I started on trumpet, but then when I was in high school, I learned how to play I'd borrow people's instruments, take them home, and learn how to play them. So I taught myself how to play a lot of them, but I started on trumpet.
Dude, my lips were too big, and dude's like, try trombone. I did trombone. Yeah. Trombone actually took me to college.
That's all.
I went to a music school on.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, partial vocal and partial instrumental scholarship.
That's dope.
Yeah, because I had no money. My instrument bought my education.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Now, if I would have finished it,
I had a dream for a while to be a music teacher.
Oh, that would have been really cool as hell. That was probably my favorite part of the day, honestly. I mean, I'd just be looking forward to doing that, just going seeing all my people and they small band. There was like 40 of us. So my senior year, I got put on tuba. I had to learn tuba.
I got put on baritone, so I was close. I almost a tuba.
The three or the 4 key. We're getting away, guys. Sorry, the 3 or the 4.
We had both.
Okay,
like
so
for concert band, I had to do the 4 thing, and then for marching band, I had like the like one that was just like a big old trumpet, basically.
Nice.
We'd have to carry around this one. We had like that one for marching, but then for concert band, we had to use the other one.
Sorry, B. I didn't know me and Sam are bass clef buddies.
Oh, good. Like I said, I like to sit back and listen to these things.
Yeah, man. So you're doing football, you're going through, and then at some point it must have clicked. Hey, I can do pro wrestling. I can be a performer also. When was that?
It was my brother. He always, because like we'd go to the pool and I'd be doing like 450s off the diving board and gainers and shit off the diving board and stuff. And he was all like, "You shouldn't be," because even I've never been a small. But like from at birth, I was tiny. I weighed like 5 pounds when I was born, but then I don't know what happened. But I've never been small. So even back then, when I was 12, 13 years old, I was already like 250, 260. Maybe I might have been 300 pounds by now. I was a big old boy. So but I was still doing flips and stuff, and he's saying I shouldn't be able to do that stuff because he'd have me hit swantons on him in the backyard and stuff. So it was all my brothers always said that.
And then, were you trained anywhere?
Yeah, I like that all happened. I was at a party when I was like 18, and I had some wrestling shirt on. So me and this other dude got to talking, and he told me, he's like, there's a like a local place that runs show every Saturday over in my town. It was 3rd and Sheridan in Tulsa. It was at a little church in the back of it, And I was like, oh shit, no shit. So I started going to the shows, and I went to the shows. Me and my nephews went, and we sat like front row, like every week. We like the show didn't doors didn't open till like 7. We'd be there at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon for no reason. It wasn't like it was selling out every week or anything. But we had to get our front row seats. We did that for like 6 months, and they would always plug that they had a school. And then one time, like I showed up on a Tuesday. And I was like, I'd like to start pro wrestling, please.
Nice.
And then that was I think that was in like the end of February or beginning of March. And then I had my first match on like, I think October 19th, 2009. So I trained for like 6 months or whatever that was. But it was
so
cool.
my boy, they wanted my boy so bad for wrestling. I was going to say, they're probably licking their chops over you too, weren't they?
Well, that's it was kind of a weird thing back then because I don't know, it was weird. I was trained. It's a whole different time now. That seems like a lifetime ago, but it was a weird.
I see
what
you're saying.
It was a weird time. It was like back then. It was bad if you were good. It was weird things.
Yeah.
Like the old guys were real stuck in, like they didn't want to give up no spots on the show. It was a weird thing. It's in Oklahoma. You'd think it would not be that serious, but it was serious.
Wow. Then who trained you?
Really, the one I give the credit to is a man named Dutch Hagen. He just recently retired because he had some spine stuff come up. But he's the one that actually taught me how to, like what I learned in training. Anyways, but I learned a lot of it after training when I just started doing shows and stuff. I learned that's when I really learned how to wrestle. But in training, he was really the only one that like actually taught me everything. Because especially once everybody figured out that I had a little bit of athleticism, then I didn't get trained how to wrestle anymore. It was just they just played Giant Slayer all day. I'd be taking like choke slams off the top rope and just doing all kinds of just for nothing. Because when I first debuted, I didn't know how to do anything. All I knew how to do was get beat up. I had no idea how to do any kind of offense. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. All I knew how to do was get beat up because that's all they did for 6 months. Well, especially like I said, once they figured out that I could bump and stuff. So it was really, yeah. He was Dutch Hagen was the only one that like wasn't just there to beat the shit out of people for his own little ego thing. He actually taught us how to wrestle. And plus, he was only like 6 or 7 years in then too, so he was still semi new. So he like I definitely credit him to training me.
So, what was your first name in that debut match?
I've been Sam Stackhouse since my very first match. Yeah.
Nice.
We came up with the name like 2 hours before the show because 2 hours I didn't have a name until I didn't have a name.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a name.
Okay, so
I didn't think about that part. Like when I started training, like it's because that's another it's so different now because now I'll see people. I'll go up to the schools here and they'll be training for like 2 weeks and they'll already be telling me their names and they'll have gear, all this stuff, and I was like, I didn't think about any. I didn't, like I said, I didn't have a name until 2 hours before my first match.
Yeah.
So I had no idea I didn't think about any of that stuff.
So then I know there's like Haystacks Calhoun, who's also a big guy. Is that where Stackhouse came from? Or was
that sounds a lot less nerdy, but it's really the guy who I paid for my training. He asked me what the last name of the people on my favorite TV show was. And I was 18 years old or 19 years old, whatever, 2009, Reeling the Vampires. And it was True Blood. And their last name is Stackhouse, and that's how I got my name.
Wow, really?
Yep. He asked me what the last name of the people on my favorite TV show was, and like I said, at that time it was True Blood, and their last name is Stackhouse. And then and obviously it fit too, so it worked out. But
yeah, and then Sam is Sam. So
yeah,
yeah. Wow. I mentioned in the intro about the Black Hole Slam, and I'll ask anyway. Do you have any moves inspired by wrestlers?
Abyss that's why I started. That's why, because I actually damn near broke my own back doing Abyss. Used to do this back right here called the shock treatment, and I hit it on Dutch Hagen, who in my first match he wasn't even supposed to be in my first match. That's a crazy story too. It's supposed to be just me and the dude who owned the promotion in the mask. But then Dutch was doing the flare, like flip over the rope spot and laying on the apron and rolled his ankle. So they just put him in the triple threat of my first match just to cover because he couldn't walk too good anymore. But I hit that shock treatment on him, and then I had to go to the hospital because I damn near broke my own back because he was too big to do it. But yeah, I do the Black Hole Slam because of Abyss. Like I do the heel kick because of Umaga. The moonsault I started doing because of Bam Bam and Vader. So the dive I only did that because of Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. pretty much every move I do was because I saw another big dude do it, and I was like, I could probably do that.
And I was going to say then, who do you credit most for giving you like big guy training? Or did you have to pick a lot of this up as you went?
Well, I've picked up a lot of it and I still got a lot of work to do as a big, but like I'm always torn on it because like if I wrestled like a regular big dude, like I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now, because the only reason that I got the clips to go viral and got on GCW anyways because I didn't do stuff like a regular big dude. So I don't really think that I'm the best at the big man style of wrestling, because it's just not. Now I'm getting more into it just because I'm an old ass man now. But like, but I definitely have not been the best at it, but I'm working on it. But no, Abyss taught me a lot, because right before he went to WB, I got to run like a little program with him, and we had like 4 or 5 matches, and he taught me a lot. So
I was going to ask about like the struggle there as like a big man who can do all the moves, but as you said, there is a psychology of kind of how the big men are supposed to do. Like when you were going through matches, like how does that psychology and the struggle there, how does that like play out in your head?
It's hard sometimes, but I like like it really just depends on who it is and like how the truck, because some of the stuff is low risky, but no, it's I try to find a happy medium. I've definitely done some stuff that didn't make no kind of sense, and I'll be the first to admit it, but it looked cool on the video. So you got to pick your battles.
What was your first entrance song?
I was Down by Stone Temple Pilots. Wait, no, that's the second one. The first one was a Used song. Okay, which one was it?
Used.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the song was called. I can't remember. Something about the blood in my hands or something like that. It was weird. It definitely did not fit. And then I used Down by Stone Temple Pilots for a long time. And then the dude who my first custom entrance song was the guy that I mentioned earlier that I was talking to at the party, and told me about the wrestling thing. And his name's Brian Doyle. Shout out. He wrote my first custom entrance music. And he went to the studio and like wrote it and had it and performed it and everything. I used that for a long time until I got my new one that I use now.
Now it's been close to about a year since you've had this newer one, right? Roughly.
I've had the new one for a few years. The Stackhouse.
No,
really? I've had that for a while. Yeah, I've had it for a while. Yeah.
God, I gotta lay off the weed.
Yes, it's the only song I've ever used at GCW. I've had it the whole time I've been there.
Oh, I swore. Okay. You know what? Yeah, you're gonna be right. I know you're right. You're gonna know more than I would. Damn, man, that blows my mind. I feel like I heard something before, and then odd. Wow. Okay, so let's just say that Brett can't find your song right now. What are you using today?
Dang.
Yeah. Well, you gonna pop off with something old or something new?
Let's say I haven't even thought about it in a long time. Dang.
Come on, you can't come out the Yellow Brick Road now. You gotta have your own.
I mean, I probably just go back to that Stone Temple Pilots song because it fit me. It fit like it. That was a good song, but I've had a customer for, and I got a new one too. But this one's so over, I don't know if I'll ever be able to replace it.
Yeah, I used to like Dead and Bloated. It just had a great opening.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Did you ever see? Okay, well, we'll just say it real quick. Did you know that he recorded that first couple spots, like that first couple seconds? You know how it sounds like it's in a can or whatever when he's singing it? Did you know he yelled that into guitar strings, and the vibrations of the guitar strings were picked up by a microphone? So the first part of that song, the first 4 to 5 seconds, is not him using a microphone. It's him using the vibrations off a guitar string.
That's crazy.
Yeah, look that up sometime. That's so you're actually listening to a very rare type of recording when you hear the beginning of that song.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I used to be a big I saw him me and my nephew went to see him in concert when I was younger. I mean, I say probably 19, 20 or something like that. But
did you ever see Velvet Revolver then too, or no?
No, it was still it was one of Stone Temple Pilots like last tours that they did together. I would have liked to see Velvet Revolver because I like Slash.
Right. For your newer fans, I keep getting off the track. I don't know why. It's like music. When I find someone with music, it's like boom. Give me one match that you're most proud of and you'd like everyone to see.
Either me versus Mysterious Q or me versus Brian Keith. I think those are my top 2 matches I've ever had Like I think probably that me and Mysterious Q is hard to like. I don't know. It's me and Mysterious Q is probably like physic like view or like I don't know what the word like spot wise probably the best match I've ever had. And it wasn't even supposed to happen. That's a whole nother story. And then, but the only I'm one of my biggest critics, and like I've watched pretty much watched back pretty much every match I've ever had, and like I always find shit wrong with it. But there's like a 25 to 30-second little spot in the match with me and Brian Keith that I can't find anything that I don't like. So that's why it's my favorite match.
Well, then I'll ask you, where's your favorite venue?
Oof, that's tough. I mean,
you've been some places.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, because like I don't know, like venue, like just because of the venue, strictly because of the venue.
When you walk in, what feels like, good to you? Where
I mean, obviously walking into Hammerstein was insane, right. But like when I got to do the carousel room in Jersey, that was pretty sick because like I watched probably 50 or 60 GCW pay-per-views from that building, and then finally getting to go there was pretty cool. And that one in Hawaii, that venue in Hawaii was beautiful. That was awesome. And there's been some cool places. New York was not very pretty last week. It was cold and awful, and it hurt to be there. But because we got off that train, because we parked in Philly and took the train over, and we came up from underground from that train station. I was like, what the hell is this? Because last time for the first Hammerstein show, it was cold, but it wasn't snowing and shit. That snow and that wind was crazy. It was like another planet.
And that's coming from you that's used to those planes. Planes wind.
It's insane. Oh yeah, but there's usually not. It doesn't snow a lot here. It's usually like there were like not only was the wind coming, but like you couldn't see because you were getting pelted by snow. And I felt like we got transported like 500 years ago. We're like walking through the tundra. It was crazy.
That is awesome. I had a question about the Hammerstein. Since you were at the first one and the second one, can you give like the vibes and everything from the first one before, during, and after, and then vibes before, during, and after the second one?
I mean, vibe wise, I'm still the first one's never gonna. That experience never gonna top anything in my life because like there's things and people that I got to hang out with and talk to on that first show that I'll never get the opportunity to do that again because some of them aren't here anymore or friends. Like there's just people there's like that whole 2022 or 2022. That whole little time right there was just such a special time because like I was still super like the first Hammerstein show was only like my third or fourth GCW show, so like I was still brand new. I was still meeting everybody. And now I've made friendships that weekend that have lasted from like since then. And like I said, there's people that I got to hang out with that night that I'll never get to see again. So like the first one's always gonna hold a special place in my heart. But I mean, the second one was just, I mean, it was cool. Like the second one, it's weird. Like the first one seemed more just like it was less business, more this is crazy that we're all here. And the second show seemed like it was more business. Everybody was there to show out and show the world who the fuck GCW was type situation. So like that's how I distinguish him in my head, I think.
I'm happy to hear that because that's what I was saying. I wanted to see from the wrestlers going into this show, and I definitely saw that. So,
where should we go from here? How about I love this story. How did Brett find you, or how did you find GCW? This is one of my favorite stories of yours.
Yeah, like I literally still don't know how it happened. Like I was playing Madden, and I got a message from Brett Lauderdale, and he's like, "Hey, this is Brett Lauderdale." And he said, first off, it said "Yo," because that's Brett.
Yeah.
It said "Yo," and then I was like, "Hello," and then he was like, "This is Brett Lauderdale." He's like, "Have you heard of Game Changer Wrestling?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, well, "I'm the promoter." And he's like, "People have sent me your videos and clips," and he's like, "I want to work with you and it makes sense." And I was like, "This is crazy." I took a laugh around my house. I was like, I was yelling. I was like, "I'm gonna be a big star." It was crazy. It was crazy. And then and then like a couple weeks later, they announced the Texas show. So I hit him up, told him I could come down there and help set the ring, do whatever. And then went down to Houston, and I didn't know if I was going to get to wrestle or anything. I was going to, just go do pay the dues thing. And then I got there, and he like looked me up and down, and asked me if I brought my stuff. I was like, sure. I was like, duh, yeah. I mean, I didn't say it like that. I was shaking in my boots, like it was freaking out. And and I didn't say anything else. He didn't say, okay, cool, go get it. He didn't say nothing. And he was using my hotspot to download somebody's music, and Facade walked up and asked him what he was doing, and he was like, probably wrestling this guy, and pointed at me. I like Facade said that like the look on my face of confusion made him think that Brett was joking with him, because I looked so confused. I was like, yeah, bro, that's because I was finding out in real time, dog.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. And then I got to win the match, and like it's crazy because I like my life changed that day, and it was insane because when I went out there, like that was only the second time I'd ever wrestled in Texas. Like the first time was back in like 2015. So from 2015 to 2021, I didn't wrestle, or 20. I was at 2020 or 2020. I was 2021. I didn't wrestle in Texas at all, and that was only the second time I'd ever wrestled in Texas. First time I'd ever wrestled in Houston, and like I had people come up to me after the show, and they say whenever I made my entrance, they said they felt bad for me because they thought I was just like a fat piece of shit and was going to get blown up and like not be able to do anything. And then by the end of the thing, the whole place was chanting, "Please come back," and it was it was insane. But I think KG called me a overnight 12-year success or something like that. He called.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that was how I got on. I got on GCW, and then I got my second GCW. Second GCW show. I was wrestling Matt Cardona for the GCW title in Vegas. So that was great. That was only my second show.
And you got the same reaction. Like, I never saw you before. And I'm like, who is this? And of course, Cardona's getting an easy opponent. And then Stackhouse by the end of the night, like everyone's chanting Stackhouse.
Yeah.
Like, you just tore it up, man.
Yeah, that night, well, I'll always remember that night too, because that was so crazy. That was the most people I'd ever been in front of up to that point. And like that was damn sure the biggest like reaction, because I went from wrestling in front of like 15 or 20 people in Oklahoma to in front of GCW, and it was and then I would like after GCW I went on the local shows, and like it's just been crazy since then. But yeah, that Vegas day, it was nuts because I did that the spot, and then there happened to be a buddy of mine from Oklahoma that happened to be in town because he's like a traveling nurse, and he was working in Vegas. So we went to like the White Castle, and like we left before intermission and came back, and like we're coming back, people were like stopping me in the street and asking me to take pictures and shit. And I was like, what is happening right now? So yeah, it was that night in Vegas was insane. Like I said, that was only my second GCW show, and then I think the next time might have been the Hammerstein might have been the next one. I'm not even sure if I did one between that and the Hammerstein. So the Hammerstein might have been my third. It was my third or fourth show at GCW ever. So it kind of snowballed. And like I said, the first 2 years, I think I wrestled for GCW 6 times total. And like you said, I had 17 last year. That's crazy.
Yeah, you just absolutely blew up and boom, just like that.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how you would benchmark this properly, but what's the hardest match you've had to work and why?
I wrestled, like I mentioned, my biological dad died when I was like 6, but then when he had passed, my mom was already with my stepdad, who raised me for the rest of my life. He passed away when I was like 21, and I wrestled like he passed away. We were at the hospital all night the night before, but I had a show the next day, and I went and wrestled at that show, and that was probably the hardest match I've ever had to do. So it was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal because I've been through some like physically like painful matches.
Right.
But that was just overall the hardest thing I've had to get through. But I got through it. It worked out. I'm still glad I went.
I was dealing with it last year. Do you feel like it was trying to keep you busy and try to keep your mind right kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's not easy. You were in a state of shock probably.
Yeah.
So you're just, I get it.
Yeah. But everybody was cool, and they like it. I had a great match especially for them, because like I said, I was 2020 or 2011 or 2012, so I'm only a couple years in at that point. But yeah, that's probably like I said, like overall probably the hardest match. I've definitely had some more physically painful matches.
Yeah.
But
what was your biggest holy shit moment? Again,
probably,
that's loosely defined, so you could name it however you like. I mean, Hammerstein just walking out there is a pretty big holy shit moment.
Yeah. Well, like whenever just at the last Hammerstein show when my music played at the Hammerstein, that's That's crazy. And like I said, like the first time I was at the Hammerstein, like that was Cardona's first time ever wrestling at the Hammerstein, was the first time there. There's people that are way bigger stars. They were living like, it was, the Hammerstein's such a special place in wrestling, and like, to especially, like I said, that's why that first one will always have a special, because I got to live a dream that almost every professional wrestler dream is to wrestle there. And like the first time I didn't get to hear my music or anything or none of that stuff, but I was like, I got to be involved, and that is absolutely insane. Right. I got to live a dream. I was in New York City. I live in a small town in Oklahoma, and I was in freaking New York City. It was crazy, but it's been awesome. That's all I can say.
What's your worst bump taken? Looking back.
Let's see. There was one, I took a frog splash from the dude who took credit for training me, and I thought I was dead. Let's see. I've definitely hit the floor pretty hard on a couple of the dives I've done. But,
yeah.
But really the worst thing I've ever done was I was on the middle rope, and I got power bombed off onto like a trash can, and that's probably like, as far as physical pain, probably the worst bump I've ever taken. I'd much rather be on thumbtacks or anything like those metal. People underestimate how bad those metal trash cans are, because they don't break; they just bend and they get sharper, and then they just stab you, and it's terrible. That was probably one of the worst things I've ever done. Oh, I wrestled this one dude. The worst bump that didn't have anything to do with any landing on anything was there's this dude named Warhammer that used to wrestle around Oklahoma, and he was like 650 pounds, like 6'9" or something like that. Like wow. He was like a security person at the prison, like a massive dude. So he made me look small. So I got to be like the smaller guy. So I would always run around when we'd have our matches. I'd be like running around everywhere doing all kinds of.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a good idea to hit a missile drop kick off the top rope. And when I landed, brother, I didn't think I was ever going to breathe again.
Really?
I don't understand how these dudes be doing these missile drop kicks. That's crazy to me. I saw at the NWA a couple months ago, the lady hit it off the top of a cage. She hit a missile drop kick off the top of the cage. That'd be the last bump I ever took. I wouldn't survive that. I would not get up from that. That's crazy.
Have you ever, I think you may already know this, but you win a lot of people over with your athleticism. Have you ever been able to actually look at someone in the face and smile and say, I'm a professional wrestler, and yes, I win people over with my athleticism?
Oh, that's not the first thing that I imagine when I first tell them I'm a wrestler. But then like they'll see people look at the video and they're like, holy crap. And then, it takes them like half a second and they're like, that's cool. But yeah, I'm obviously not the first thing that people think of when they see me.
Do you have a quick highlight reel or anything out there that you'd show someone if they were like saw you in the street somewhere and you just got to talking to someone?
Just go to either Instagram. I always just pull up my Instagram and my TikTok. There's plenty. I've put plenty of them on there.
I think I've asked you this one before too, but do you have any superstitions or rituals you go out before you go to the ring?
Not necessarily superstitions, but like I definitely have like a little thought process to get myself in the mode, because I have this horrible thing of like I've number one, I have horrible anxiety problems that I always have, but like it's before I go out there, I literally feel like I'm dying before and it's been this way for 16 years. I feel like there's sometimes where I'll be sitting down, I'll go to get up before a match, and I'll feel like I'm so weak I can't even stand up. But like I just gotta get myself once I get through the curtain, like it's like it goes away. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's weird, but I definitely have to have a little process that gets me through, that pushes me through, that I always have to remind myself that like I deserve to be where I'm at. Like I know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm like, it's not even necessarily worse. I'm going to go out there and mess something up or get hurt or anything like that. Cause like, I know physically I know what I'm doing. And I to this day, I don't even know what I'm worried about. But yeah, I definitely have a little process to get through that. And it's not even like a set process. Like I said, I just got to talk myself off the ledge before I go out there every single time.
Now, have you found greater confidence in these last couple of years? And do you feel any of that confidence is taking away from that nervousness? You know what I mean? Like you're walking in there going, instead of going, damn, I hope these guys like me. Now you're going, you know what? I'm going to go out there and fucking crush it tonight. Like, do you have that Do you have that confidence slowly building though, that it's not so nerve-wracking in front of a bunch of friends like us, you know?
It's definitely still super nerve-wracking because, and like I said, I'm still not even know what I'm nervous about. But now, like, my self-talk has definitely changed. Yeah, that sounds so lame. But it's definitely changed, because used to be like I was just barely holding on, like trying to talk myself to get out to the ring. Now I tell myself, I know, like I should be, like, I know I'm gonna be there. I know I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do my dang thing. Like, it's not like it's gonna be fine. I just got to get out there. So it's definitely I definitely have. I can credit 99% of my confidence that I've gained over the past few years to Fuego. He's becoming good friends with him has helped me in that area a whole lot.
He's probably the closest one to you in the locker room, roughly, you'd say.
Oh, besides my wife, he's the closest one to me in my life. So.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
that.
that.
No, I mean, oh yeah, no, me and him, like that's legit. That's my guy.
He's your road trip buddy.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, it's not like we talk. I mean, we talk every day. We talk, and that's my guy. Man,
I would ask about a road trip story. Do you have anything funny on that guy we shouldn't know about?
Like I said, we're pretty. That's why we click, because we're chill. We don't like crazy. Like that's why, because neither one of us is trying to go out and go crazy and all that stuff. Like, yeah, no. So
I'm just, road trips, dude. Even if you like the guy, he might be the one that buys the crazy foods and farts in the car. He's not the buy crazy food and shits himself in the car. He
drives a little crazy sometimes, but other than that, he's all right. He's all right.
You ain't shitting in the car, are you?
No, gosh, no.
We're getting all the important subjects out here at Game Changer Weekly tonight.
No, that's why we've gotten along, and we can drive. So I mean, we can spend 24. I mean, we were in the car we were together this last week from Thursday morning until early Sunday morning, because we did a show in Houston. We wrestled in Houston on Thursday. We were supposed to wrestle in Alabama on Saturday, but the show got rescheduled. And then Wednesday we wrestled in Louisiana, and then drove home. And then me and him drove home from New York last week. So we were in the car for 24 hours on the way back from there, and then 3 days later we were back on the road again for that trip last week. So, and like the trips with him, like he always says it too. The trip, like, well, he says he'll drive anywhere with me. And the same thing, because we just dance and sing and talk and chill. And then when I need to sleep, I sleep. When he needs to sleep, he sleeps, and we get it done. But just like hanging out with him, because I mean, I'm sure you've gotten out of him. He's the most confident motherfucker you're ever gonna meet in your life. So hanging out with him the past few years has definitely helped me in that area. So shout out. I think he's probably wrestling right now, so he's probably not watching, but he's shout, because that show got rescheduled to tonight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he already drove. Yeah, he already drove back to freaking Alabama.
Oh,
like, he's a trooper. He's a trooper,
man. Yeah, he usually comes in here and listens every now and then. Yeah, so, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd love to see you guys be called like House del Fuego, because that would mean House of Fire, and that would go great with Bam Bam gear.
It would. Mm-hmm. I need to make it shiny like his.
I'm telling you, dude.
I need me some shiny lucha gear made.
I had a question.
You get a mask, fast. Dude. You get a mask. I would love to see that. Sorry, no, go ahead. I'm just like dreaming.
I thought I should be Fuego 2 got an eating disorder, and now it's me.
I love it. You guys should come out in matching gear. Oh my god, I'm so into it. Fucking matching gear.
Oh my goodness, that was good.
Dude, I always wanted to see Sam and Galeno go at it. Never happened.
That's a big young dude. That's crazy.
I love it.
That man is giant. He's like 20 years old or some shit. That's crazy.
Dude, he's 20 with the body of like a 31.
That's what I'm saying. That's insane, dude.
Sorry,
B. They've been feeding him, like, I don't know what the hell they've been feeding him, but like, because they didn't make him fat, they made him big. That's just a big dude.
Dude, he's got those old school like WWE muscles, like the round muscles.
Yeah, like that dude looks like his body has lived a life, and he's like 20 years old already. That's great because he's like 80s strong. Like he's just like that's just like a big dude.
Dude, he's totally whoever trained him is definitely 80s trained.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see it
'Cause
in the
that's just
body.
yeah. Because like I said, he's not fat and he ain't skinny and he's not like jacked. He's just a big dude.
Sorry, B.
No, it's good. That was hysterical. I I love that Fuego got a eating disorder. I was just gonna say, like, how is it, like with your best friend, seeing you guys succeed, especially like I call Phoenix, Arizona, like you guys, that's your house, man. You guys are GCW. You two have really like, kind of made a stamp on what you guys do there. Like the crowd always responds to you guys and everything. So how is it like seeing your best friend Fuego getting the chance at GCW as of late than he did that a chance that he wasn't getting prior?
No, when we were in Orlando, was that last month? I guess it was when he was working Mance in the main event, and they were chanting "New Champ." It almost got me. My eyeballs were getting a little full because so no, it's awesome because he deserves it because he's, I mean, speaking from coming from the same place he has and knowing how hard it is to get the fuck out of here, for him to do the things he's done and like. And because I mean he was a YouTube star back before any of the stuff. So he was art like he's been doing good stuff. But yeah, no, like it's awesome to see him get his. I mean I still think he deserves more flowers, but it's great people are finally seeing that because he is very good at wrestling.
Yeah,
like size be damned or like AEW any besides any like he is just at the end of the day he is very good at wrestling. And I don't think he's capable of having a bad match. I don't think he would let himself have a bad match.
No. I'm actually surprised the Desperados haven't swallowed him up for a couple shows just because.
Yeah.
And I've watched quite a bit, but I'm kind of curious. Does he have true classical Mexican training also, or does he have like the hybrid American Mexican?
Probably the hybrid. I guess probably more the hybrid. But yeah, I know he's wrestled in Mexico a bunch of times. But I don't know if he actually trained there or not.
Are there any wrestlers on your radar at GCW?
I mean, I'm still trying to get this one-on-one with Mercer. Like, I feel like we've been teasing that for like 2 years.
Is he gonna pull moonsault and battery on you,
brother? Yeah, no bullshit. It was kicked around. The ring would not allow it.
I mean,
ring we were in when it was kicked around would not allow it.
Was GCW's game though? Mercer.
Oh yeah. Of course he was.
They're overdue for a ring break spot. That's for sure.
I'm telling you. But yeah, no, that would be awesome. I'm still wanting to have my first death match at GCW. You know, I dabble. I wouldn't consider myself a death match guy, but I dabble. I like it. I have fun. I respect it. I would love to get in there with like one of the real deathmatch guys because every time I've gotten in there, I've gotten wrestled some of the best deathmatch guys. So I like John Wayne Murdoch. I would love to wrestle John Wayne Murdoch. Either deathmatch, regular match, I don't care. I just would love to wrestle him one-on-one. Me and Fuego versus the Garbage Daddies. We've wanted that match for a long time. That would be sick.
That match needs
versus Pero. I need this one-on-one with Pero too. We've been kicking that around for a while. Yeah. So it'd be cool. There's a lot of cool things.
So I'll stick this in here real quick because I'll watch a little bit of wrestling from around the world. Beastman just kicked off in Deathmatch, which bro, you and I have seen the same Beastman for the last couple years. I didn't see that one coming.
No,
I did not.
Me and him tagged at GCW once.
Yeah, dude, between me, you, and some I've actually seen him accidentally tag the wrong corner before. I mean, you know what I mean? Like things happen sometimes, but
he is a true caveman out there. I would tell you that. He is a true caveman, but he's good, bro.
My family, a lot of them's Appalachia, so I'm not gonna ever say anything about him. He's West Virginia hillbilly out there. Never shit on that. But yeah, I like what he's doing in Japan, and it seems like he's kind of tapped into something there, and I hope he sticks with it because I think he's seeing more success there right now than he's seen previously in his career.
And that's the dream. That's every big man's dream is to get over to Japan. So he's living it. That's dope.
So
Right.
John had the idea of Stackhouse and Juicy Finau in the Rumble at
Oh.
Hammerstein.
I wanted it so bad. I wanted a battle of the super heavyweights, 1-on-1, Juicy Sam. These would be the most mobile super heavyweights we've ever had in wrestling going at it.
And
Holy
Juicy,
mackerel.
you seen Juicy lately? He's looking good.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm gonna be the slow one in the match now, I think. I gotta catch up. I gotta get back on my business.
I kind of wanted to follow up what John was saying. You have like any future wrestlers ahead? Like, what is your future outlook after Hammerstein? What's your next goal at GCW?
Well, I know the next time I'll be back there is I'll be there for the San Diego, LA, Phoenix loop. So at the end of next month.
Yeah,
I'll be
I'm
there.
trying to get out to Phoenix,
So,
man. I might have
well,
to
I hope so.
make
That'd be
something work
dope.
there.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
You coming through Vegas or no?
I haven't figured it. I think what my plan to do is I'm going to fly to San Diego and then just drive, rent a car there and then drive, and because Fuego's on him too, so we'll probably just fly.
I think he meant for Collective.
Oh, for Collective, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely be there. Oh, yeah, I'll be there because I have a show on Wednesday that week, so we'll probably be there. I'll probably get there probably Tuesday or early Wednesday morning.
Oh,
I gotta see you sometime. I'll bullshit with you.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there the whole. Yeah, and I only have that one show until the Collective. Fuego's got like 18 million shows already. So,
yeah, if you fly into San Diego to LA, I think be like 2-3 hours tops.
yeah, my goal, like
LA to Phoenix is like 5 hours, I think.
This is probably the opposite attitude I should have, but like I don't want to like kill myself on Mania weekend. I want to see all my friends on Mania weekend.
Yeah.
So there's like, and that's the time that everybody is in town, and like there's a lot of people that I don't get to see. I still talk to them. I don't get to see a lot of people a lot, so I want to use that week to get to see. I'm still going to try to do as many shows as I can, but I'm definitely going to be. It's not a lot of sleep's going to be had that week. It's going to be fun.
No,
especially because in Philly, it was a fun time in Philly, so Vegas is going to be crazy.
Yeah, hoping.
So I'm going to give you some personal questions. I love doing this. These are the real hard questions. Get ready for this. You know we're real rough on you here. Do you have any pets? Yeah,
we have 2 dogs, Morty and Lucy.
Morty and how old?
Morty he's got to be 8. Almost 8, around 8, and he's a chocolate or not chocolate. He's a black lab. Ooh. And then we have a pit husky mix named Lucy, and she's probably 5.
My first dog was a black lab.
Yeah.
I'm a big retriever fan. I got 2 Goldens downstairs.
Oh, nice.
I'm about to say Lucy too.
We didn't. Oh, you got a Lucy too? Yeah, we
have Lucy. That's my dog.
We didn't pick you the one. Lucy's mine. She's the one. She's mine too. Morty is my daughter's dog mainly. He sleeps with her and stuff, and Lucy sleeps with us. But she's the troublemaker. I forget Morty exists sometimes. He's because we like the way we got him. My wife was at my mother-in-law's house, and he just walked up. He was a little tiny, but he was like he was this like the size his head is now. His entire body was then. He was this tiny little thing. Yeah. And we posted it online, and nobody claimed him, so we ended up keeping him. And then a couple years later, my buddy's wife, we were at PetSmart, and we were looking at this basset hound named Lucy, and we were going to adopt it. And we were filling out the paper and all the stuff, and then we got an email saying that it had heartworms, so it was going to like a dog a farm with dogs, or a farm for dogs with heartworms. And I was like, did y'all just like give us the thing you tell a kid where you're like the dog went to the farm to play with all the other dogs? I was like, yeah, okay,
right.
So, but my wife was sold on having this dog Lucy, and yeah, my wife was sold on having a Lucy. So like a week later, my buddy's wife posted online that the neighbors was about to shoot this dog. So I drove out to my buddy's house, picked up that dog, and then she became Lucy, and we've had her ever since now too. So we didn't plan on getting either one of them. I want like a little dog and like a big. I want like one little dog and one big dog. That's what I wanted, but we ended up with 2 big ass dogs.
I was the same way. I always said I wanted like a Dalmatian and like a little purse dog.
I want like a lab and then like a little furry, like a lady dog.
Yep.
Like I'm trying to think of the names of them.
I want to have to watch out for it when I like walk around as to not stomp.
One of those.
I want a tiny little thing, just so I can carry around and just pet it all the time. They can just chill.
Always on your shoulder.
You can just chill right here.
When you have evil thoughts, you could just pet it.
It just chills right here all the time. That's all I want. If I let my dog chill right here, I wouldn't survive it.
Yeah. Both of mine are right around 85 each.
Yeah, that's probably pretty close to what they're big old things.
Sports. Let's talk sports just for a minute with you here. Who are you following? Who you like? Who's your teams?
I'm a Steelers fan. I have been since I was a kid.
That's right.
Yeah, I have been since I was a child. Fucking Maddox was still the quarterback. That was before even Roethlisberger got there. Yeah, because Jerome Bettis and Troy Polamalu are my two favorite players ever. So,
there you go. XFL MVP right there, Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, he was still the quarterback when I just picked I was getting older. I was like 9 or 10. I was like, I need to pick a team, so I picked the Steelers. It was between them and the Redskins at the time because I like the colors. But I picked the Steelers.
Good choice.
The Steelers defense is part of the reason. I can't remember what year, but it's part of the reason why they had to put safety rules in for the defense. Yeah. Polamalu and all them, those guys were
Polamalu was the best football player. Nobody, that's the best football player ever. I don't care what anybody says. That man was crazy.
I just
did all of it with that beautiful ass hair. That's what I'm saying. And did all of it with that beautiful ass hair hanging out the back of there. That's crazy.
I could use some of that hair.
Same, brother. I feel you. I'm getting it from the other way. Mine's starting up here and working its way out.
Oh no. See, this is bad, but back here it's bald as hell. It started up here and then it stuck me in the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. I think a fucking gnome came in my middle of the sleep at night and burnt that patch, and it just never grew back.
That's why I got this ponytail, cover up my bald spot.
Yep. Oh, you have no idea how many wrestlers I've looked at and said, "Son, you're 25, might want to start looking into what you're going to do with your hair in 10 years," because anybody with curly hair, any guys with curly hair, that's testosterone, bud. You're going to lose it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Hey. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this, and I was going to go through these personal questions, but the NWA, how's that going for you?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a crazy thing there. I mean, everybody's been super cool. It's pretty cool. It's been. I mean, I have my new tag partner Eric Smalls. It's pretty lit. Where size matters. Because he's a little fella and I'm a big fella, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I've done like 3 or 4. They actually have some shows this weekend, but he's the coach. He coaches the wrestling team, so he couldn't be there this weekend, so there was no need for me to be there. But Billy Corgan's super cool. Like apparently it's the same situation. He saw some of my clips and then asked if anybody knew me, and they reached out to me. So it's been pretty cool. Like that wrestling at that we did the Dothan, Alabama, and we were the first match, and we got the biggest reactions of the entire show. A 16 match show, but we got the biggest reactions, and we were the first match, and it was really cool. And then we did the show in Dallas a few weeks ago, but we got the rest of the Colognes, which is insane.
Right?
Yeah, it's wild.
So I had a kind of question with regarding your face and heel work. Which one do you prefer working more, like face or heel? Because we usually see a lot of face work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a face 98% of the time, but I have a real good time working heel. It's fun. I enjoy it. I think I get to be heel this weekend. I'm wrestling in Arkansas this weekend. And I'm wrestling in Arkansas, and it's been a minute, but pretty sure I'm heel this weekend, so that's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
I heard Arkansas will turn you into an asshole. So
I'm gonna let them people have it.
Here we go. Do you collect anything?
Like I used to be real into pop figures and comic books, but I told my wife all I want from it for any gift now is like model airplanes. Not like the kind you put together, but just like the die-cast models. So I'm planning on diving all up into that. It's my new thing.
Dude, you got to try some models though, man. It's so cool.
Oh, I want to try some models to put together, and I want to try RC planes too. I've been real also obsessed. I just want to get famous enough to hang out with Tyler Perry. Have you seen his whole setup he has?
No.
He has a whole ass runway in his backyard because he has the world's biggest RC planes. Of course, like not like the biggest collection, but I mean like physically, like some of them are big enough like you can ride, like not ride when they fly, but you can like ride around on them on the ground. They're big. And he has he has a hangar. Like I just want to get famous enough to hang out with him and fly his RC planes because those are crazy. Yeah, he's got like damn near full size airplanes that you fly with a remote control. It's great.
Yeah. He's got that Medea money.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. Yeah, because I mean, he's easily spent millions of dollars on his arse because he built a whole ass runway in the back of his place. It's crazy.
I'm gonna hit you with a weird one here though, but I gotta know. Do you have a favorite cologne that you like to have?
Well, I haven't been able. Like, there used to be a men's cologne that they sold at Victoria's Secret, and it was my shit when I was like all through like teenage and like young adult, but they discontinued it, so I haven't been able to find it in like 10 years. But I don't even remember what it was called, but that's the only place that they had it, and it was my shit.
Oh, you got to look that up. Maybe something like that's still out there somewhere.
I'm sure someone's got some bottles around because that was, I mean, my sister bought it for me at first, and then after she bought it for me, I kept trying to find it, and that's my shit.
So, like, if I were buying, like, if you were going to buy a candle, what kind of smell are you looking at? Like a citrus? Are you looking at?
I'm a like a Thanksgiving smell kind of guy.
So like bakery,
like an apple pie and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walmart had my wife used to have them. Now we have a what is it? We switched.
Like
we switched
melter?
a little. Well, yeah, we used to use the melter. Now she uses some oil thing or something like that. But they have this. It was like a blueberry cream cheese one or something like that and that's my favorite one. I just wish the world was made out of that.
I swear we went over this one too, but I'm going to ask you again. Your favorite fast food?
Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I love tacos.
Okay. Okay. I've found that getting meals is actually the cheapest way to go money wise. Sometimes. Yeah. Do you do a meal or do you do single items first?
Nah, I usually do either a number 1 or like a number 8 or whatever. What if I'm feeling it's usually always number 1. But if I'm feeling frisky, then I'll get the 8 or whatever the Doritos tacos ones are, because I could eat tacos every day for the rest of my life, and you will not hear one complaint from me. It's like it's insane to me when them little Facebook memes people post, and they're like one's got to go forever, and it's always like pizza and tacos, like sushi and some other shit. I'm like, you can take all of it except the tacos. I could literally live. I could live without sushi. I could live without chicken wings. I could live without all of it. But if you take my tacos away, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be a happy person.
Hey, so double check the Lux box. It's like $7 and there's a shit ton of food in it and a drink. Just
I do like get a chance. Baja Blast.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah. But yeah, any Taco Bell people trying to save money, the Lux box, I think it's like $7. And
they got one of them. They got one of them Taco Bells you can get drunk out in Vegas.
Well. Yes, we do. We've got a cantina out here.
I only recently learned about those when I was in Hawaii. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I haven't been to one yet, but yeah, I see. Yeah,
I heard Cole. Yeah, I heard Cole. He was talking about him. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that was on the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Okay, he was very excited.
I knew it was Cole Radjic was talking about it because I had no idea that was a thing, and I definitely want to try one.
Yeah, man, he's totally into it. I think it's gonna be something that happens. That's another one where if you're here in April, maybe we'll just have to see you down there. We'll have to go. Sure. Heart Attack Grill also. Get your burger in.
I've been past there, but we didn't go in.
So. I don't think it hurts to get a free burger. You know what I mean?
No, it's all good. Yeah. Good.
Your favorite family recipe? Do you have a favorite recipe somebody cooks that you just like? That's my jam.
There's this like dip that my sister makes that I make now. It's got to be the most unhealthy thing you can ever eat. But it's just like it's cream cheese and sour cream and sausage and like rotel, and then you just put it in the crock pot and then you just dip. It's delicious. We just call it the dip. I don't even know what
the dip. I love it.
It's just called the dip. I don't know. And my other sister, that's my one sister. My other sister, she makes a good chili too. It's not chili because it's like chunky chili because like got hamburger meat in it, but then she like cuts hot links up in it and like big ass chunks of green peppers. So it's like a chunky chili, but that shit's good too.
That's the stick to your ribs kind of chili.
Oh yeah, that's just good. But yeah, the dip is my favorite.
All right, dip. We're gonna talk about Little Sam. You ready?
Uh-huh.
What was the video game you dominated when you were a kid?
Shoot, Star Fox was my jam. I played that game repeatedly for no reason on Nintendo 64. I also got GoldenEye. I was a killer on that, brother.
There you go. There's the
and then like my first like the newer games when I got into Halo, I was okay at Halo when I was younger. But those are pretty and then like I liked I played the Fallout on like the OG Xbox. Then when I found like RPG games, I got into more of those and shooters. But then I got back into shooters eventually. But once I found out the like Dark Cloud was my jam, that game was good. There's like this weird game, like it was like Oni or something like that. It was like a weird, and I've tried to find it, and it's like rare and like hard to find now. But it was pretty cool too. It was like a little shooting. You're like some little like ninja girl, and it was a little shooting game. It was pretty cool. Huh. But I definitely was pretty good on Nintendo 64 games back in the day.
Dude, speaking of shooters, anybody been playing Call of Duty today? Season 2 started.
The update is happening on my stuff right now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've already been ripping into it. It's they got 3 new maps and there's a 4th one coming in the middle of the season. So
heck yeah,
should be pretty damn cool. One of the maps looks like when you're fighting on the boat. I'm trying to remember what it's called, where it's like a yacht. One of them looks exactly like that. It's just the layout's a little different, but all right. What was little Sam jamming to back in the day?
Let's see. The first CD that I ever bought, I paid the maintenance man. He used to burn CDs at the apartment complex we lived at. He used to burn CDs for like fucking $3.50 a CD or something like that. And he gave me a Tenacious D CD and a Trick Daddy CD, and those were like the first CDs that I had of mine. But then before that I would record. I had my little boom box, and I would like just have the radio playing all night, and I would just record. I had just a bunch of tapes, and I would go back in the day and listen to what the songs, and I would find the ones I wanted to listen on repeat. But I was a big obviously I was a big 90s kid, so NSYNC was my shit when I was a kid. You definitely see my little chubby ass doing the bye 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 dance. So Britney, I was a big Britney Spears kid too. I loved Britney Spears when I was a kid. And then Avril Lavigne was the first CD I bought from the store with my own money was Avril Lavigne CD. So I rode the bus to Walmart to buy that CD.
Dude, that's so cool. Favorite cereal from when you were a kid?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my shit, and Apple Jacks. Those are my two. It's tough because I now that I'm saying it out loud, what's hitting me harder as a craving right now is Apple Jacks. And I just had Apple Jacks, and I really want some fucking Apple Jacks. But I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch too. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch because it's not even like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch; it's the milk when you're done with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That last drink of the milk, that's my shit.
All right, so Dutch Brothers is like a coffee place, and right now
they just built one in my town.
So right now they have if you go there, they have I forgot the name. I should look it up. They got like a drink, and it's like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it tastes like the bottom of a cereal.
As intriguing as that sounds, they just built this motherfucker, and that line at that place is never. It's always crazy. Well, I didn't know that many people lived in this town that go to this damn, and now they're building a Starbucks on the other side of town. Of course, so I don't know what people are going to do now.
Yeah, Dutch Brothers is our new crack for sure.
I was about to say the Walmart's going to be cleared up because everybody's going to be at the Starbucks and the Dutch Bros.
All right, Sam, your favorite cartoon?
Ooh, that's tough. Dang. Ren and Stimpy was my shit when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I definitely love that. The Simpsons. I've watched The Simpsons since I can remember. So, but dang, that's crazy. But I remember, it's weird. It's so off the wall too. But one of the biggest shows I remember watching that I look forward to watching every day was the freaking Jackie Chan Adventures. It came on every day when I'd get off the bus. And I would have 3 minutes extra to go in the kitchen and grab me a drink and a snack, and then I'd have time to sit down and watch that. And I watched that every day when I got home off the bus.
Was that on Fox?
I think it was. I want to say it was on no, because Fox. I don't think it was on Fox Kids because that was the first website that I always go to the library and play the games. Yeah, and I feel like there's a Jackie Chan game I would remember. I feel like it was on UPN or something like that. Because UPN was my channel, or the CW or whatever the hell it was back then. That was my shit. I don't remember what channel it was on, but I know I watch that shit at 4:30 every day.
Isn't it interesting as we've grown older now, we've seen channels come around and like die.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like the UPN and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah, because I mean, like every show I watched was on the UPN and the OETA, and nobody even knows what the OETA is anymore. I was like, wait, that's what Reading Rainbow was, and Wishbone, and like all the other shows I watched every day was on that show, or PBS, I guess.
Yeah, PBS.
Yeah. It was ours. It was OETA is what it was, but it was PBS. It's basically they showed all the PBS shows, and people don't even watch that no more. Like, it blows my brain. Wishbone was my shit.
The Wishbone.
I know I showed my kid Wishbone, and then I wrestled at a Comic-Con last year, and she got to meet the dude who voiced Wishbone. He charged $65 to sign a dang picture, but you know, that's a picture of him, not it like I was like, I don't even know you, brother. I know Wishbone. but then he did the Wishbone and my heart melted, so I'd have paid him $6,500 for that.
What was one of Sam's favorite toys?
Dang, I mean that damn Titantron was the biggest thing. I still remember the feeling I woke up, and I still don't know how that motherfucker snuck it in past me, because that when I got that thing, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I slept on the living room floor, so I don't know how the hell he snuck that thing up underneath that tree when I woke up, before I woke up the next morning. But I still remember the feeling of getting it, because like I said, I slept right next to the tree on purpose, because I was like, that was the year that I was bound and determined to bust them motherfuckers sneaking the presents in there. And I still don't know how he got that damn Titantron in there. But that's still my favorite to this day. I don't know why that stuck out so much, but I'll always remember that Christmas morning. I don't know why.
Well, then let's hear who Little Sam had a celebrity crush on. Who was the one?
Janet Jackson was my first love.
Really?
So, yeah. And
from
then
the Rhythm
Aaliyah,
Nation years in the 90s?
And then Aaliyah was probably my second.
Uh-huh.
My second. Yeah. And then Shakira. Went to a big Shakira phase.
Damn, listen to him.
But
wow.
yeah.
Listen to you.
Janet Jackson.
Killer.
Janet Jackson was my life.
So now, last time you brought the Titantron, geez Louise, do you have anything else for show and tell that you'd like to show us?
Dang. I ain't got nothing near here. I moved everything to the living room now.
Oh,
God.
I should have warned you.
I know. Yeah, I ain't got nothing over here.
We can move on to something else, and then you can.
I mean, I got my wife got me this cool thing off TikTok where I can play all the old retro games.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Cool. Actually,
yeah,
I want to review on that one.
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
It works pretty good. I mean, it's got all the old wrestling games on there. It's got like all the Nintendo 64 or like all the Nintendo stuff. There's Sega and there's PlayStation games on there. All the arcade games. It's got all the Atari stuff. It's got like thousands of games on there. But it works good. They look. I mean, we played the Mario Kart the other day. It was pretty dope. Like I said, I played some of the wrestling games. It's pretty cool.
I've been wanting one, but I don't know which one to get because, yeah, I think it'd be cool as shit to have one. Like the inner kid in me wants, you know. Outside of that, I'm usually on like an emulator and ROMs.
Oh yeah, yeah,
kind of thing.
This is the one I got. I don't know. It just says game on it. It doesn't even have like a brand in it. It just says game.
Did you guys get the new game?
But it's pretty. But it works. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It works pretty good.
Well, look at that. You met the criteria there. Can you name a movie or two you've watched lately that you'd recommend to everybody?
Was it The Good Robot? That movie, or The Wild Robot? That movie had me all in my feels.
Really?
It's a good one. We watched it like 3 or 4 times already. I've watched it. I'm sure my daughter and wife will watch it more. Because me and my daughter watched it first, and then we made my wife watch it. But it's a very good movie. And then I saw people shit on it, but that like Netflix movie at Carry On or whatever, I like that movie.
Carry On.
Yeah, it's got Jason, what's his face in it? From Dodgeball and from that TV show that's real popular.
Yes, yeah.
Arrested Development too, Andy, from that. He's like the bad guy in it. I thought it was pretty good. So we watched that recently. Because we watched most of the stuff for the last month we watched was all Christmas movies.
Did you find a new one in there that you liked at all?
Yeah, they made me watch the. I guess Netflix made the Scrooged one a couple years ago, and like the music from that it's got no business being so good. Because I guess it's the dude who plays like Gaston, and it is the dude like I can't think of his Ethan something or something Evans or something like that. Anyways, but the music from that has no business being as good as it is. Because there's a couple bangers in there that I just listen to just because.
We'll have to buy you the soundtrack next year.
And then they also showed me for the first time that Ryan Reynolds and what's his face movie. I just spaced on his name. From dang Talladega Nights and shit. What's his name? Fuck. Ricky Bobby. What's his name?
B will get it.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It's like a Christmas movie, and it's pretty good. It's like a musical, and they showed me that one too. It was pretty good. But then we watched all the usuals that we are. And Klaus or whatever. That's my daughter's favorite Christmas movie. It was pretty good.
What's your worst shoot job you've ever had?
I worked at a tire factory, and it was the shit. Oh yeah, it was like a tire recycling factory.
So the smell's got to be.
Oh, well, I unloaded the trucks, so I just had to pick up these tires. They'd always have like water and shit in it, and it was awful. It'd be like 150,000 degrees in there. It was terrible. Oh yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
Okay,
awesome.
So I know I've asked you this one before, but I'm gonna ask you in case you have a second story, or do you have any ghost stories or spooky stories that you'd like to share with us that have happened to you over your life?
I don't think so. I get real bad. I get that deja vu shit all the time. That's about the creepiest thing that happens to me. I get that shit all the time. It's weird. I definitely now that I don't know this simulation thing. It makes some sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I need a conspiracy theory show because that's something we could talk about for a long time down the road.
I like my a big conspiracy theory guy. Not like the weird ones, like the fun ones.
Cole was talking to me about birds, spy birds.
Oh yeah.
He's like, no. And then we found out they're fucking real. And I had to actually get a hold of him and be like, dude, you were so fucking right. And I was wrong. They're so spy birds.
Me and my daughter have a little inside joke when she sees the birds. I had her convince it when they're up on the power lines, they're charging. And because and now anytime we come up on the intersection, there's like 1,000 birds on the power line. She's like, oh, they're charging. I was like, yeah.
Dude, did you see they busted the drone thing in New Jersey?
I just saw something that the lady said that they were okayed by the FFA or whatever, but they weren't enemies. But they didn't say what they were. Nope. So it could have been civilian, could have been military, but they knew they were there, and we were left confused for a long time. But if I had a drone out there, dude, I would have stuck some shit on there and went up and been like, okay, like, is my drone going to be in someone's video? That's crazy.
One thing you want to do before you die, Sam, what would that be?
Shoot. I want to go to Disneyland with my family. That sounded lame, but that's the truth. I want to go to Disneyland.
No, that's not lame. Dude.
I've never been there. And then obviously my child's never been. I don't think my wife's ever been there either. Because this was the first when my wife got to go to the Hammerstein with me this time. And that was the first trip we've taken since we got married. And I think this is 9 years this year that we've been married. So it was nice to have a trip. So to take them on a trip would be sick. And that would also mean that I've done something good, because you can't Disney to go to a Disney trip nowadays. You have to have done something in your life to be able to do that. So
both me and B were Disney families, and of course, because we're in Vegas, it's not too far for us, kind of thing. So I highly recommend doing it once. I was never able to do it when I was a kid. I was able to go. I was lucky to be able to I was able to be able to watch a Disney movie. Dude, I ate all the food. I only got a couple more questions. I don't want to, you know what I mean? In your travels, have you fallen in love with any area of the country or the world that you would be cool picking up your family and moving there?
Colorado. I'm gonna die. If I have it my way, I'm gonna die in Colorado. So
flatlands or Rockies?
I'm trying to go up on a mountain. I want to move to like a mountain town where I'm gonna grow weed and tomatoes and trade that.
Integrity Farms.
Yeah, I'm gonna trade that for other things in the city. That's all I want to do. Like my goal is to get like famous enough to where like I get on like the Comic-Con scene, and I move up on a mountain, and I only come down to do one Comic-Con a year, and then like every year it's gonna be like a suspenseful thing to see if I come back down, and then one year I'm just not gonna come back down, and that's because I didn't make it through the year. You know, that's all I want. And my wife is down for it. She said she'd like. Because I started going out there. Shout out Chad Kalina started booking me at Colorado Wrestling Connection, and like I went out there and immediately fell in love with that place. It just doesn't seem real. It's insane. Like the people they just go to Walmart or go to the store and they get to look at that. It's insane.
I'm kind of cool with that small life.
Actually. Yeah. No,
I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not a big city person at all. There's no part of me. I couldn't handle living in Vegas or like I would rather cease to exist than live in New York City or Philly or any of those places like that. I'm telling you, there's no part of me would want to live that. That is insane to me.
Dude, I had a town of less than 2,000 people. I live within a mile of 2,000 people now. It's a completely different.
That's what I told when the first time I was in New York City. I was like, there's just when I went to Times Square, I was like, there's probably just as many people in this block as there is in my entire town at back home. I was like this, and like I live in a decent sized town. It's probably like 25,000-30,000 people. It's not like a tiny town.
Yeah,
but it's not big either. But like, yeah, no part of me. I'm not a big city. There's no part of me with it. I spent in LA. The one time I've been there. If I had enough money to live in LA, that means that I have enough money to not fucking live there. And that's
the truth.
Insane, dude. Insane.
That's the truth.
You'd have to do anything, you got to leave 6 hours early. Like, what's the point of having a house there? Because if you want to go anywhere, it's got to take the whole day to do anything. Because you're just on the road forever. God forbid you don't fill the car up.
5 miles can take you an hour.
Oh yeah, because when we did the LA show, we were in LA for 2 hours before we got to the venue.
Yeah.
Dude. And the first thing I saw was some dude shitting on the sidewalk. I was like, this place.
Welcome to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I drove from Vegas into LA, and I hadn't even hit the coastline, and we've been driving 2 hours in LA. Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, how big is this city? It's yeah, it's I'm ready for a couple acres. I just want to go pee off the back porch like a normal guy. No, that's what I'm nice saying. And simple.
I just want to grow tomatoes and weed. That's all I want. Hey, and wrestle occasionally.
It's a good life.
That's literally all I want. Yeah.
Tobacco. Yeah. Who said that great one? Yeah.
Yeah. What's to say they don't mix together one of these,
We'll have to give it a try. Well, this kind of runs into the same thing. Sam goes out on his farm there. If you could master one craft or skill, what would it be?
Oh, definitely gardening.
Gardening?
Yeah.
Good shit.
That'd be dope.
I'll send you some pictures later. Yeah. What would this is the last question here for you. What would the young you think is the coolest thing about the old you?
I mean, that like we like I've it's hard to explain, or I don't know the words right now. Like I've gotten everything that I dreamed of. Like I wanted to be a wrestler. I got that. Like I always wanted to be a father and a husband, and like wrestling gave me all that because I met my wife through wrestling, and I have my daughter and her, all my best friends. Like I only have one friend in my whole life that is not from wrestling. And there used to be 2, but then he joined wrestling, so now I just consider him part of that too. So I I have one friend outside of my that I didn't get because of wrestling. That the best man at wedding. All my best friends I have because of wrestling. And then like I said, my wife and daughter I have because of wrestling. So like I would just tell them that like I didn't have the best childhood, but who did is like I would tell them that it works out, it worked. Like I've gotten to do some real cool things and meet some real cool people and live a real cool life. So if it was all over today, which I hope it's not, but like it would be all right, Like I would definitely tell myself that.
God bless you, Sam. That's a good one. That's what's up, really. I'd like to see you happy, and happy is ultimately, I think, the best way anybody could be, is content and happy. Man,
All I want. I'm not greedy.
no. I was always told just get what you need, and the rest can go to someone else who needs theirs.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's all I want. Like I'm not like I'm not, especially when it comes to money. I hate money. If I didn't need the shit, I wouldn't even it wouldn't even bother me. Which is it's a good thing sometimes, but other times it's not a good it's definitely hurt me sometimes because I should chase money. But like yeah, no, I'm not picky, like I'm not greedy, like I just want to, live my little happy life on this planet. Because at the end of the day, there's 7 billion people trying to do the same thing.
Trying to do the same thing. The best you can hope for is your chunk of
exactly.
it.
That's all I want. Yeah.
If I can only have a couple acres, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
We're in the same place, Sam.
Oh.
Mentally, we're in the same place, bud. Are there any socials or anything you'd like to promote before we head out right here?
I'm on the Sam Stackhouse or Sam_Stackhouse on pretty much everything. I got TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook. I got all of them.
You sound like me. I'm like, you know what? I got them all. Just look up my name.
I got what's that one that everybody left Twitter and went to for a little bit? The other Chinese,
Reds?
the red something or what is it? It's on my phone, but it's in Chinese, so I don't know what the hell it says. I got that one too.
We'll find you in China.
Oh yeah, I got them all. Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sam. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for uninterrupted time this time.
It was nice to have. I feel like I can be a little closer with you. Like I got your vibe, so it's fun to just chill and bullshit. So yeah, it was just nice to have this without anybody really getting involved. Me and Bran are kind of like one unit here, so it's really cool to just sit down and talk to you. And
that's great.
We've got to do it again though, for sure, because it's certainly fun. You know how it is, Sam. You roll through or around Las Vegas, please contact me. I'll take care of you for a little bit until I get you back on the road.
Yes, I got you at that Taco Bell cantina too.
Let's go.
Ooh, hey, we know food out here, Sam. We can treat you right.
I'm so excited for that.
Fuck yeah.
Well, thank you again, Sam, so much for hanging out, and can't wait to see you on the next GCW show and the next loop, especially hopefully I could catch you in the Phoenix or LA show for sure.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Sam, and thank you for your time, and you have yourself a good night.
Oh, appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much, man.
Take
you have
care,
yourself
man.
a good one.
Yep.
Be good, brother.
Yes, sir.
And
all right, there we go.
Wow. Thank you, everyone, for hanging in there. We had, gosh, that was fun. I love talking to Sam. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but he's so much fun to just listen to and bullshit with. And I don't know. He's a little country. I'm a little country. I think, just how it works. And now for the eggs. That's right, guys. We'll get there. So B and I were talking, and B made a great point. Everybody loves the reviews, but at the same time, they love the interviews. And I feel like, B brought this up first. He's like, I don't feel like, what's the best way to put it? You felt like we kind of lose the review if we have an interview that week. So a lot of people do like to hear both the interview and the reviews. So B made a good point here that we need to probably make sure we cover both of those for various reasons. And he's 100% right. So the good news is now the review portion of the show has just begun. And
having us with Stackhouse or any other interview, we could go 3 hours. We could go 3 hours, but we don't need to go longer than that. They got their own time, and we don't want to keep their time waiting as well. So yeah, if we figure on the interviews and shows to review, we will do both, and we will condense our review here, especially. Sorry.
Yeah. So GCW had 2 shows this weekend. We're going to be reviewing the show that happened in London. The show from France will be broadcast on Thursday. So we haven't seen that show yet. We will be reviewing that then on the next show. And Eggy, here comes the egg. Yeah, eggs are going to be popping up all night tonight, guys. I have a feeling. Yep. But then I also want to make just a quick little announcement that I think is cool in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. And 100% for the chuds here, guys. But
Rose, I hope you're still here with us.
I hope you're still here, Rose. I think Danny jumped on and he's like, hey, you know, he tagged me and he's like, when do you guys want to blow up the internet and maybe do a show?
Danny who?
Danny who? Yeah, Danny DeMonto actually hit me up and I'm going and I go ahead and I write underneath there something like, ooh, thinking like I'm thinking. And he said, you won't with a period. And I go, oh, that's a rough one. So anyway, I went through the back channel, hit up B. I'm like, hey, man, this is part of the history of GCW. We're a Game Changer Weekly. Do you think that we should sit down with one of the men who helped get Game Changer Wrestling off the ground? And we felt like that made absolute sense to us. So I believe this will be on February the 11th. That's 2 weeks from today. We'll be having on Danny DeMonto. And that will be kicking off our, let's just call it Deathmatch Month. We do have a second interview. Should we give any of this one away, or what do you want to do on this one? Do we just...
I'm about to say, I think we should tease it one at a time here. John did some amazing booking work. If we're doing Booker of the Year right now, John is Booker of the Year. Fuck Tony Khan. Fuck Paul Levesque. John is out here booking for the podcast. I did. I'll say it. John's working his magic booking for the podcast. And yeah, we have a very exciting lineup for the next couple of podcasts here. And I know you want to tease. We want to tease. We'll find some way to tease it. But it is exciting what we have down the line. And yeah, John, did the good work of getting Danny DeMonto and the next few guests afterwards.
I still want to say the next one, guys. I really do want to say, but we'll go ahead. We'll stick with Danny. That's going to be a huge one. Guys, you know how it is. Please grab all of your questions together, whatever you need to do. We're not going to go crazy. We're not going to go nuts on anything. We are really going to have an awesome time talking to someone that I don't think most other people would be able to have sit down and talk in these contexts. I wish I had a better way to say it, but just like we did with Brandon Kirk before he had moved along and many others, we're very fortunate to be able to have such a very rare interview. I don't think anybody else that would carry a GCW flag in the modern times would be like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm a deathmatch fan. Our listeners are deathmatch fans. And again, I don't want to ignore that part of history. I'm looking forward to it. We're all adults. We're going to have a good ass time, guys. So I'm I really feel good about February. I think everybody's going to have a great month. It's we'll call it Deathmatch Month. How about that? So if anybody would like to try to maybe figure out who else is maybe in the deathmatch world that we might see on the 25th, by all means, speculate for a while, but we're getting it.
It's a good
one. We're getting this together. It's a very good one. You guys will be happy. This is someone quite a few people have wanted on here before. We're getting it together. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Was there anything else here that, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Reed Harris Cooper said Atticus. I don't know about Atticus. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's a decent guess.
Atticus or Redacted. That'd be some fun ones. We got some fun ones, man. Yeah, there's some names out there we still need to get that we
an apple a day.
I'm excited. Apple a day keeps the doc away. Atticus. Oh, yeah, especially now that I'm just happy to be able to say his name and not have to worry about any repercussions. Like that still puts a smile on my face.
But I will say Reed and Great One, both of them are on our radars, and we're really, really looking forward to it.
Will not pull punches.
Redacted. What I was told, he won't pull punches.
Okay, yeah. February is going to be fun. Danny's going to just the start of it.
And nobody eat apples in the second half of February, please. Please. Listen carefully. Nobody eat apples in the second half of February.
Tease. I'm excited. You did amazing work there, and you got me excited for podcast coming up here in the future. And yeah, we do have a show tonight to cover in TNA. So let's Carlito, dude. I'm
Carlito?
telling you, I'd be dressed in the Carlito wig. I'd pull out the shit that I bought back in the day, the shirt, the wig. I got the Carlito outfit. I would kill if it was Carlito.
But yes, it's going to be a great month. Great month ahead, guys.
All right, so let's get into GCW's live in London from the Electric Ballroom in London, England.
If this building looks similar to anyone here, it looks God, John. Okay, I got to shake it off. Now we're back into the review portion. Now I got to chill out a little bit here. Okay, so this building, if it looks familiar to anyone, this is the venue used by Progress Wrestling. I will also say in this show here, their audio for the intro music was on point. Sometimes the sound will come across the audio. It almost sounded like a taser. I don't know if anyone else heard it. It's like zzz, zzz sound. I almost thought it was an Atticus tease, and I was ready to praise the idea. And then I found out it was just audio issues. So I was really disappointed here. They didn't have the toilet sign, the neon toilet sign.
I think it's a different venue. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I don't know if I made the comment or I was going to make the comment last week about happy to see the toilet signs back, but I'm glad I didn't make that comment because I was disappointed too. That was the first thing I looked for. I'm like, no toilets, it's got to be a different venue.
Yeah, the wankers don't know where to go unless they have the sign that shows them where to go.
You weren't losing your mind. Clown said he heard the taser too.
Okay, yeah. It was weird, but yeah, I'm going. Oh, if that's Atticus coming across the sound, like zzz, I'm like, that's a whole other level of. Yeah, well, I guess it was in my head.
All right, our first matchup was for the GCW tag titles as the Garbage Daddies make their first tag team title defense against Lycos Gym.
There's Ash right there. He said the neon toilet sign was in Liverpool.
Ah,
man. I don't know. It was just a nice little funny thing of the whole scene is beautiful. And then there's this bright toilets thing right in the top.
Dude, I think we did 20 minutes just on the toilet sign on our old podcast.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, Brett's commentary alone on this one was entertaining. Sometimes you'd see his mind wanders and he would just say something funny. It was definitely his personal mix of play-by-play and color commentary. I also noticed here that with this match, Garbage Daddies and Lycos, these are two fan favorites going at it in this opener. And I found that to be very, I don't know. Let's just say it was very refreshing to start the show with two young tag teams going at it, and especially for a championship, it gave it that extra layer of importance there. I wrote that the Daddies looked great. Cole was wrestling aggressively. Price was flying all over the place. I put here that they're the perfect mix right now. Lycos did a good job throughout the whole match, making everything look good. I wish they got in more offense to show off their capabilities because we've seen them both before be Lycos can go. But in this one, our winner here were the Garbage Daddies. They retain, I believe this may have been their first or second title defense because I think they may have done it in France also, but I'm not sure. What were you thinking about this one, man?
I agree with you. I was happy to see the Lycos Gym back. They looked really good and improved since we last seen them. The tag titles look really good on the Garbage Daddies. It was a nice high-paced match to start the show, and the crowd was super energized right away. And as you said, I think that goes along with two fan favorite tag teams. And I thought there was a nice one of their first nice defenses from the Garbage Daddies to kind of set their tone for their tag run. I would love to see them face teams like this. Like it matches their style. I know it's going to be interesting. They've kind of wrestled all the heel tag teams there is already. I kind of want these tag titles to build up a feud that we normally see tag teams in GCW. I hope they build a feud with it, not just do the Lycos Gym for this event. And then next week we get Leon Slater, man. Like, dude, like I don't want to do the local scene with the titles again. Like I would like to build the story and build a feud and get interest behind it. I know they're not going to start it here in England, but after seeing the Lycos Gym and Garbage Daddies kind of, as you said, interact and meshed well together as a team, as teams going against each other, I would kind of, if I were to book out, we'd be booking that a little similarly. And I think this is why we talked about maybe Kerry Morton and Griffin McCoy picking up that win at Hammerstein. Maybe that just with that momentum would lead right into a perfect, makes sense as the first challengers for the tag titles in a story feud sense. So hopefully we'll get to there at that point. But overall, First Defense, I enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to see what they do in their tag title run here. Hey, Bionic Scoop, what's up, man? How you doing? I haven't seen him in a long time.
I think I said everything I actually needed to say on this one. This was just a nice, refreshing, fun match, and I don't know. I think it was a good way to start.
Yeah, very good way to start, especially that crowd. That I'm going to talk about the crowd all night. I don't know if they carry the show, but I think they make these shows so much more better. Like, not saying like the in-ring action's bad, but I think their energy level all night and their singing and their enthusiasm for GCW wrestling just carried the show. And it put a smile on my face. Like, I want them to go to England like twice a year. Like, I don't want this 4 times a year. Like, just keep it twice so that way we get the songs. It doesn't get overran over there. But the crowd was on fire for this one. And that first match, I think, helped set the tone.
Oh, yeah. I was going to jump in here with something and I can't remember what it was because I was reading chat for a minute here. Yeah, so this is a soccer crowd. You know how that is. The international crowds, wrestling fans are like, they almost bring the soccer atmosphere with them, the fandom with them into the arena. And that's what happened here. Man, it is so much fun to watch any type of European wrestling because the fans not make themselves a spectacle. They're just so participatory that it becomes part of the show. And, we say it 100 times, the fans can make or break the show. And you're saying they made it here.
Yeah, I'm not saying like if it wasn't for them, the show would be shit. But I'm saying I think they added a lot of excitement for me as a viewer watching on TV. And I know Brett had a Twitter space last night. If I got on there, I wanted to ask, like, hey, what would you suggest us American fans do, like, to match the energy that the UK fans do? Because like the energy is just like, it really does kind of like going from seeing like the hammer, like not even Hammerstein, but like you see like just a normal GCW show, then you see the energy at the London show, then when they come back, the energy is not going to be the same and totally different. And like as a viewer, it's like, oh, like what happened in the meantime, even though they're knowing there isn't. But I just want to know like what Brett thinks the crowds could do to kind of match that same kind of energy that we get out in the UK.
Man, it's so cultural too. It would be so crazy for him to try to put his finger down on like one or two things. I don't know. You just have to drop your ego and enjoy the times. I don't know what a better way to put it is. I
made that same note like later. Manders kind of like during Manders' match, he just seemed like, hey, fuck this match. Like, I'm enjoying this moment. Like, I'm getting the love, the songs, and the crowd was just awesome all night. Next match of the night was Sidney Hakim versus Agile Blanc.
First note, more Aigle Blanc in America, please. Singles or scrambles. I can see him working in a match against Speedball and having a great time doing it. On the other side, I love what Sidney's doing. Really hoping he has a trajectory towards a championship sometime soon. Maybe the JCW championship. I'm just curious as to where all of those wins will, what those wins will equate to. And so I'm hoping that maybe we see some form of a championship run or a run towards a championship soon, because we haven't even seen a storyline run towards a championship yet. So Sidney's been kind of quietly on the undercurrent, just doing his work. But the thing is unless you're paying attention to him, you're not seeing that he's damn near perfect. I mean, he's undefeated. So a very impressive and athletic matchup by far. Again, Aigle Blanc, anytime he wants to come over here, please do. Our winner in this one was Sidney Hakim. And yeah, my last little note said I could watch these guys go again and again. No questions asked. Would not be bored with it.
Yeah, I went into this match thinking that it was going to be insane. Matchups like this, I'll kind of echo what you're kind of saying with the JCW title. Matchups like this is where I would still keep and kind of am sad that we don't have the Extreme title. Like, I think these movesets, this action, it would be perfect for the Extreme title. And as you said, it kind of, he's with one title gone. That's one less thing for these wins to build up to. And now he's got to keep building higher. And I think, as you said, the JCW title makes perfectly sense right now with this. I kind of will talk about the JCW title later when we get to Masha's match. But for me, like I echo everything you said, except for JC title. I would just throw in Extreme title for me. And I think for me, this is where I'm sad it's gone, but I'm glad we won't have to have that debate no more of, oh, what's the difference between Extreme and Ultraviolet title and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the one thing gone. But seeing these matchups, like, oh, I could X Division kind of stuff is where I would use the Extreme title. But this matchup lived up to my high expectations. That final act that Sydney did was awesome. The height, and he kind of had like a final pose, like as he was hitting the final act, was awesome. And I thought it would be cool, like trade card worthy, if someone was able to like catch that in a picture and put that on like a 8x10 or trading card. It was he like posed on that final act before he hit the stunner. I really enjoyed seeing that one this time.
Do you ever remember those old pictures in sports that were in motion where someone would take a picture of like a batter 10 different times so you could see the whole swing? Wouldn't it be cool to get a side view of Akeem doing those backflips into the stunner kind of thing?
Like the side version of Jordan when he did like the free throw line. I got a poster in my room, like the air greatness, and like it's just him in different poses. Yeah, I just thought it would be cool, especially if you said like someone just takes a bunch of stills or kind of captures a bunch of clips at that time. He looked really cool, and I just the Extreme belt, man. I'm gonna bitch about that for a while, I think.
It's funny. We want it there. We don't want it there. It's, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. Unification is very interesting. We're going to get to that one here. I think a little more. I don't want to get ahead. That's all I had to say about that match. We'll get to that part soon.
All right. Next match was Maki Ito versus Man Like Darius.
It became really enjoyable on commentary. Alec Price showed up and he was singing and having a good time. I love when you can hear the performers just having a good time. I don't have a better way to put it. Maki and Darius both had different music than usual. I don't know how many people noticed that. Maki performed one of her other songs from her career, so that was different. Darius's music was good, very European. It includes fans waving glow sticks. I love glow sticks. I felt like it was a party. Also, he was really singing his song. There was no lip syncing or anything like that going on. So I felt like he gave us a good 2, 3, 4 minute show before he even stepped between the ropes. That's giving the person a show. In this match, Maki was aggressive. I really do wish we had more of that attitude months ago when she had the title. But then, of course, Darius made her cry. It was very rough to watch. There was Fighting to the Pokemon song. I don't even know how that came about. But then I started listening to Price sing the words word for word. And I went, oh shit. Everybody, we're all nerds. We're all having a good time. I didn't expect that. But in the end, Darius did also cry along with Maki. Our winner here was Maki Ito. And I felt like, again, with the performances and everything, we got a lot in this match.
A lot of character work too, which I enjoyed seeing, not just in-ring stuff. Like they played a character, and I was actually really looking forward to this match going into it because of their trash talking a couple days prior online. Like, and like Man Like Darius goes like, "Yeah, you suck, Maki." Maki's like, "Who are you? I don't even know who you're." Like those little interactions got me really into this match, and the entrances, yeah, by not like this. This match alone with their entrances was awesome, amazing. The crowd singing, the energy, as you said, the glow sticks. This match, like as it was happening, I'm like, I thought they were gonna go at it. They're gonna like really fight each other, but they're coming out to outperform each other, and I love that aspect because they're both performers, and I loved everything about this match. The comedy, the entrances, the in-ring work, the how they played into like their trash talking online. I enjoyed everything of this match. Like this was not really one that was all great in ring, but the story that they told, and I enjoyed it. I left with a giant smile on my face, and I loved every second of this match. And I would like to see these two kind of interact a little bit more often. It seems like whoever MLD's kind of interacting with just in general as of late is making like cool moments and stories. And I love that. And even if it's just for one night, for 3 days of teasing it online, you're getting me invested in it. And I'm loving everything that he's been doing as of late.
Yeah, his expressive face just comes across so well that it just shows emotion. And of course, that works really well in wrestling.
Yeah, this was awesome. I loved every bit of this match. It was outside the box, but I had me smiling for sure. Next matchup, we get a little different kind of style matchup as we have Luke Jacobs going against the one called Manders.
Right off the gate, this was a 17.5-minute match. So kudos to them from the beginning. This was also a rematch. Manders and Jacobs faced off in November at GCW's You Wouldn't Understand in New York City. Also, Manders is way over in London. It took an extra moment to get the match started due to fans singing his name. Luke Jacobs, his opponent here, is the Progress World Champion and the Infinite Promotions Heavyweight Champion. Brett said that he'd like to see Luke in the USA more, and from B and myself here, we both agree 100%. Then we heard Cole Radrick jump on the commentary to replace Alec Price. Not a lot of people know that before Cole was a wrestler, he was on commentary. Something maybe not a lot of people really know. I didn't like the booking of Luke recovering from Manders' lariat so quick. That's Manders' finisher. Unfortunately, Luke stood right up. I would have protected that move better. I don't care who it is. That the power of Manders lies in that lariat to a degree. So I know it's independent wrestling, but go for it, B. What are you thinking? Oh, I think you're muted. Is that our first one of the evening?
I'm about to say it took almost 2 hours for the first one to happen.
We're getting good.
Reed, you hit it spot on. I agree with everything you're saying. I would like that's like a finisher I would like to protect. I think here is what explains it. Like Luke just knows and has something against the lariat that added to this match and their story that they are telling with their own matchups throughout all their different matchups with the 4 matchups they've had. And I kind of picked up on that one when Brett made comment of that's who they had a prior meeting in New York. It just started triggering my memory. And I agree with what you're saying, but I think it added to the story of their little feud. And that's why in this case, I don't mind it, but I totally understand what you're saying. I will steal your note there. My first note was Manders is over in the UK. Like that singing of the song, the Manders Wonderland. Oh my goodness. It was awesome. Once again, crowd, voila. Crowd was top tier all night. Manders Wonderland, yeah, was a hit. The match was really hard hitting and really, I think, what showcased Luke. And I think this was a good showcase to show Progress's talent and not just always just GCW and everything. I think they were building up Luke in this case, and that's why I don't mind him picking up the win. I was actually kind of shocked that he picked up the win as well, and it makes total sense of what they're kind of building and doing with Luke. So I enjoyed everything, and I enjoyed the surprise of Manders losing, and I don't think it hurt Manders at all. No. And still, like, I don't think that loss is going to change that reaction or anything else. So hearing Brett realize and kind of be astonished by how over Manders was kind of cool hearing on commentary as well.
Yeah. Also, before I forget, happy trails to Manders. He's going to be gone for a couple months overseas, traveling, earning his money. So we just want to wish him the best of luck until we can see him home again soon.
All right. Our next matchup was Leon Slater versus Jimmy Lloyd.
Sadly, this match was only 6.5 minutes. I could have watched a lot more of these two. I felt like I blinked and it was over. I saw a lot of Leon selling knee problems. Somewhat that's what grounded him in this match. I'm just going to go straight to the winner here as Leon Slater. I feel like I didn't get enough. I like both of these guys and I really wish I had more. I don't know what the story was, but maybe next time.
I agree with you. Like something I didn't know. I felt short, but I didn't know it was that short until I saw the time. I wrote happy to have Leon back on a GCW screen. Always nice hearing Jimmy's original entrance. So it's nice hearing Jimmy fuck Lloyd, and then hearing Brett, and I think it was Alec or Cole singing it as well. It was fun. I can't wait till we got to hear that. Hopefully in AC or LA. It's going to be nice being able to sing Jimmy's entrance song again. This was a fun match. I was disappointed Jimmy didn't get the win to help possibly push him in the ultra-violent scene, especially with all the new talent there, him breaking away from deathmatch royalty. I think this win would have been kind of a cool little, like, holy shit, he won without deathmatch royalty, and then keep maybe doing that and pushing it into the ultra-violent title chasing. Like I said, with a lot of those new talent in there and him being fresh back in the scene, I wanted to see that. And I don't think a loss here would have hurt Leon, because we don't see Leon that often on our GCW screens. So I don't know. Like, I didn't like the booking. I was kind of like, I was afraid it was like, with it being short and everything. I don't know. I kind of hope, I want to see Jimmy get a little push from this and not just have that cool Hammerstein moment and that's it. I want to see him get a little push, start challenging some big matchups here, and maybe push for the ultra-violent title.
Well, I think the ultra-violent title might be exactly the best place to put him right now. We have such a glut of hardcore talent running around that it kind of makes sense maybe to put him in there, because, you know, putting Tremont as the tip of the spear, as the UV title holder in 2025 in GCW, I feel like they're going to try to make a statement in the deathmatch scene. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here, but acquiring people like Dr. Redacted, you know, Tommy Vendetta, people like that, this fresh blood that's coming in is so exciting to see. So I remain hopeful that it continues to just get better and better. But I kind of got off track for a minute here, but Leon and Jimmy, you have one of the better minds in Jimmy, and you have one of the better athletic, you know, people out there in Leon. I'm really surprised 6.5 minutes was it.
I'm the same way. Like, it felt short, but not that short. Yeah, we might get our rematch sooner than later. Jimmy might be staying there next week. Might be going against Leon. Brett said, yeah, if we don't hear by Jimmy by Thursday, he's going to be working the UK independent scene.
The Jimmy Lloyd unannounced tour.
Dude, I swear to God, I saw that tweet. I just dropped my phone and like, oh God, Jimmy. Like, that just is like the perfect Jimmy story. Like, you just leave Matt Cardona, and without Matt Cardona, you lose your passport. Like, that's why Matt had you. Matt had to babysit you for a while.
Wait a minute. What if Matt took it? You can actually work this into a storyline where Matt took his fucking, because all Matt would have to do is go, hey, Jimmy, is this yours? And he just throws it on like a little video that it you know, it could be anybody's passport, but
that would be funny. Yeah. I was happy though to see Jimmy back in the not different gear, I guess. I think maybe Brett made a comment about that. I was like, yeah, new and improved Jimmy Lloyd, but we can't really say that based off the gear. Hearing Jimmy fucking Lloyd's music back, seeing Leon Slater, but as you said, a kind of a not fully 100% Leon Slater and not enough time here. I would like to see this one given more time and ran back, but I think for what they did out, my last note was here. I thought it was still a good showcase match of both of them. And once again, just shows how versatile Jimmy is as a wrestler for GCW. No matter who or what you put him in, he's gonna have a good matchup and solid matchup. Have a matchup from the U.S. Embassy.
Is Jimmy gonna be the first U.S. Embassy match?
That would be funny.
Backyard at the embassy. Oh my God! GCW backyard at the embassy.
Jimmy Lloyd Salt there recruiting.
That
was fun.
Yeah. All right, maybe Jimmy's maybe he's a spy. You never know.
Oh God, Stephen A. said him. All right, next matchup is Joey Janela versus Big Effin' Joe.
We had Joey versus Joe in this match. I'll just go out and say it again. Big Effin' Joe is still one of my choices for GCW UV champion one day. I don't know when, I don't know how, but if we could have, you know, a title holder in Japan, I feel like a title holder in England would be just as good. Joey Janela comes out to Dexy's Midnight Riders Come On Eileen, and I'm into sing-alongs. So I kind of like doing that. It was enjoyable. Even if I didn't like the performer, I'd still enjoy the sing-along. Cole Radrick went alone on commentary. I feel he also did a great job. Very interesting when you have to do it alone. I think a lot of people are figuring that out on the microphone over at GCW. I know Brett was mentioning, he's like, oh, it's a little more difficult than you think going single there. That's why Joey Styles was so important. And that's why I almost said Tom Prazak. That's why Prazak's so important. We saw doors, tables, and thumbtacks. Were they fighting with weed grinders at one point? Is that what that was? Yep. See, there we go, clown. Yep, the weed grinder spot. I keep forgetting also how much Joe has lost weight. I think he looks great out there. I also did Janela bite Joe in the dick?
I didn't see that part.
I'm hoping I didn't either.
Oh my goodness.
And unfortunately, another Janela match. We had another unbroken. Man, it's too come on, like you can't groan, you can't, it's fucking funny at this point. It's like, man, like anytime there's a match with a table, there's like a 50% chance he's not going through it, and it's funny. It's not in a bad way. I don't mean it derogatory. I smile and laugh with it, as I think anyone should.
I died when he brought the table out. I'm like, oh god, Jimmy, and then it didn't break again. I immediately wrote, the table is the real winner of this match here. Like Joey needs to have a match against the table at Joey Janela Spring Break. That is his number one feud right now in GCW is damn tables. Man. Hey, you could do it Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. You could do Joey Janela versus a damn table.
We've seen things at GCW. That's for damn sure.
I wrote for this match, it could get wild. I agree with you. I love Big Joe. I love the creativity he brings to his matches. Always feels like something's different. I was surprised this one went 15 minutes. Usually Joe has a good 6 to 10 minute match, and it's solid. And yes, and I don't leave like wondering or wanting more, even though I always want to see more Joe. I just like that was enough. I got plenty of violence in that 6 to 10 minutes, and with this one, I was wondering what the time limit goes, because it's a Joey Janela. I was thinking maybe it's after Tanaka. It would be a little bit shorter, but 15 minutes with Janela. I thought this was a good showcase to show Joe's cardio and like how he's able to do long matches and doesn't show it. So I was happy to see him kind of pushed a little bit further in his limit than what I've seen. And Joe killed it. He knocked it out of the park. For Ultraviolet champion would be awesome, even if it's just for a weekend out in the UK. Win it, have a cool moment, lose it in the next night in some crazy scrap. I don't know. Like Joe is valuable. I want to see Joe in 2025 a lot more. And this match, as I was saying earlier, it was wild. I loved all the fun spots, the Legos, the thumbtacks, and everything else they bring out. I love Joe. Joe is on the death match. I'm really loving what the UV title scene could really look like too in GCW right now. But the crowd was really hot into this match. I wrote bravo to both, but for me, the real winner of this match was the table. Table 1, Janela 0 again. The singing of the crowd all night makes London an A+ town, and another awesome match and good way to get violence onto this card with the venue. Dude, I'm telling you, he brings out the table. I'm like, oh, here he goes. Like, it's literally a joke now. Like not a joke, but like, I'm literally like, it's an anticipation for me of, is it going to break or not this time? And then afterwards, him jumping through it always makes it fun too. It's like, here, assholes, I'm giving you one for free.
I'm not laughing at, I'm laughing with. 5 years from now, it'll be funny. It's funny now. It's nothing bad. And of course, but
yeah,
it makes me smile in a good way.
I love the effort. Like if he doesn't go through it the first time, he's going to get creative to get through it a second or third time. I love to see
sometimes a third, sometimes
fourth, fifth. Yeah. Sometimes after the match, who knows? He's going to give us what he wants.
But it's all in fun. And hey, as a fan or as somebody who's just seeking entertainment, I'm fucking entertained when I see stuff like that.
I want to see a door next match too. All right, next matchup was for the JCW title as Masha Slamovich defends the belt against the Megasis Megan Bain.
A serious back and forth. They beat the crap out of each other. In this one, interestingly enough, Megan came off more dominant, and they really showed a lot of Masha digging deep to try to pull out a win here. I'll just go straight to the end and we'll talk further after that. Masha and Megan had a double roll-up that resulted in a double elimination. So there was no winner here. Masha did put over Megan and said she'll meet her again. As a package, I love it. What do you think?
I agree. My first note was these two just scream feud to me, and especially for the JCW title. I think these two feuding for that belt could help elevate a stagnant JCW title. Right now, I feel like today GCW is just a title being defended. There's once again no stories or no other purpose other than like I was happy to see Megan Bain get this match instead of like a London local or someone like that. Like that, I was really happy for, and I just think both both of them wrestle in this match, especially. They both, as you said, hard hitting. I thought they both wrestled with something to prove in this matchup of why this should be the dominant one or Masha should be the dominant one. I feel with those two, it's like Triple H and The Rock, kind of like how I feel with Jordan Oliver and Alec Price. Like, I just feel like those two are just so destined and like are attached to each other in ring wise. And these two, I think, are the same way in GCW, but in two different ways because they both provide unique characters, I think. And I think with their unique characters, them being AEW representative, TNA representative, fighting over a GCW, JCW title, I think this is one of those rare times they feud, and especially with them two and on their trajectory of what their careers are going to, and they're just kind of scratching the surface. I think with them two putting on performances on the indie scene to help elevate them both up in their careers at this time would also help elevate that JCW title, which I think is kind of at the bottom of the barrel right now in GCW. And I hate to say that after what Jordan did with it. I just feel like I want all these belts to have stories aligned with it. Like, I get you got to have a title match here, and like you're going to have these random ones that don't have a story attached to it. But I feel like that's what's missing with the JCW title, and these two with Masha and Megan just being kind of like the next big things in wrestling, as we kind of see in GCW. One of those rare occasions young talent can help elevate not just a company, but a title along with it. And I think it would add more prestige to the title. So that's why I was very happy when I saw the draw. I was like, oh shit, like maybe we are getting some sort of feud. And Masha's little promo, I'll see you down the line. I would love to see Megan be a JCW title holder, and I think that will help her out. And I think she could do a lot of cool things with that title to help elevate it as well.
I just like seeing that they're working with her going forward. I was worried to see that maybe there's nothing with her after Hammerstein, maybe saying that, well, maybe Megan's off to AEW or wherever. It made me kind of feel sad all of a sudden. I'm like, damn, I know she was going to succeed, but I was not hoping this quick until I could really enjoy what she can do over here. Yeah, in my eyes, and I think in your eyes too, this would have happened at Hammerstein. Well, the culmination of all this would have happened at Hammerstein, given Masha's situation, though. She was at TNA then. Otherwise, I think without that, there probably would have been a story booked forward from months beforehand.
I would be this to start off our next kind of big show is the J Cup. I think this would be a good story going into it that would create a lot of buzz. I would like to see also like some other random feuds be thrown in there and start kind of causing some feuds during this J Cup as well to elevate it. But the talent, man, that J Cup, we haven't even talked about the entrance, man. That talent level is insane.
Mm-hmm.
That J Cup is going to be something this year.
Yeah, I'm they said the first 16 entrants, and I'm going, whoa,
2 more. Cole and Kevin Knight. So we're at 18 right now.
Good. That's what I have to say about it. Good.
I can't wait. I'm loving the quality of the talent this year as well. It's definitely a big improvement, I think, compared to last year. I think it was good. It was more a lot of GCW people we saw a little bit instead of outside other companies, but I think the talent that they're bringing in for this one's a good mix of GCW, but what other outside of GCW, what they've done too, like bringing in Kevin Knight and stuff, and Gabe Kidd, even though he's not part of the tournament. I'm excited for J-Cup. J-Cup's going to be fun.
Yeah, this coming up J-Cup to me feels like more of a collection. And I kind of like that. It's a collection of talent more than just GCW's, roster, quote unquote. And I like that because when it feels like it's a gathering or an international gathering, the tournament overall feels more important. And I like that that image. I don't have a better word for it, but that it has that aura to it. I like that we have gathered people from all over the world to come here to entertain you for these 2 nights, and we're going to give that to you. I love that. Let's see here. I think after the midnight show in Indy is actually going to be a big show.
Yeah, because usually Brett, especially if I didn't know, I heard him kind of talking about that last night in the Twitter space, and I didn't know like the timing wise of the show. So like they're literally starting this card after the Royal Rumble, which is interesting. And when it's a show like that and Brett's know people, it's like kind of like an inconvenience to people. Brett's gonna go out of his way to make a big deal out of that show and reward those fans for staying there late. I think that's going to be a big show as well. I think a lot of these shows are going to be big coming down the line, especially after. I mean, London. We haven't even gone through the rest of the card yet, but this card was. If you throw that in the States after the first card, that's a hell of a card. That right after Hammerstein, I think it makes a big statement of what their vision is after Hammerstein going into the job. I'm loving it. Seems like they are sectioning off like, okay, Jacob's coming. We got to tell a big story for Jacob. Hopefully Megan and Masha's that story. Then after Jacob, we got Collective. Hopefully we'll get a cool stories going into Collective. I just want to see a little bit more of the title scenes, especially having more stories and investment from fans instead of just random matches.
Well, also just as important as what happened at Hammerstein is going to be what happens after that, because we can't have all of this amazing stuff going on and then it's just dead season for 2 months. So I'm really happy to see there are some stories picking up here to try to get us all back and engaged in this next, I guess, season, we'll say, of storylines.
And I thought this would be starting after like these London shows. Like, I'm really happy to see this being teased in London. Like Masha versus Megan's a big deal. And for them to tease a feud and over there was kind of cool. Like for me, very cool to see. All right. Our next matchup is Mance Warner versus Drew Parker.
And here we are. Man like DeReese was on commentary to replace Cole. This was the hot potato time. Crowd was riding Mance about losing his title. I thought that was enjoyable to listen to. Mance getting beaten up while on the mic, I thought was classic. Brett cracking himself up, calling him Mance Wanker, was probably one of the more hilarious moments of the night. And in this match, we had tables, chairs, doors, trash cans, trash can lid, and kendo sticks. So our winner in this one I had in the no DQ match was Mance Warner. And I'm just going to put in here that Brett got on the mic quite a bit here. And I think in time he'll get more comfortable. He felt like he was just a little bit more comfortable this time, but it's almost like we're watching him grow little by little on the microphone. And again, making lemonade out of lemons without Prazak being there, I think has really allowed the talent to stretch their abilities a little bit. You know, Cole gets back on the microphone. You got Price over there singing Pokemon on the microphone. Like, people are just having fun. And I think that's what it's about. What's up, Rose? Chud?
Where were you earlier, man? I literally called you out earlier. We were speaking to you specifically, Rose, and the Chuds.
So
Chud
Rose,
representative.
you may have just jumped in, bud. We were talking about on the 11th. Yeah, February 11th is going to be Danny DeMonto. Show up over here, Rose. We're going to talk about that and bring some questions with you too, bud.
I'll about to say definitely bring the chat with you for sure.
Oh, cool. And also later in February, we're going to have another death match round. I think you're going to be really happy with. So it'll be Chud time all through February.
It's Rose February.
Rose February. Hit me up later, Rose. I'll tell you what's up.
Yeah, this match I had really high hopes when it was first announced. I was disappointed when I saw it was after Hammerstein because I figured it wouldn't be for a title. It was first announced for the title because these are two names I've been really wanting to see kind of tangle and tussle. And I've been always calling for Drew Parker to get a title shot or title run here of some sort. So once the title match was taken away from this match, I was still really looking forward to it, and especially after Mance just popped up at TNA Impact and seeing him make an impact over there and do some cool stuff and seeing him back on GCW. I kind of had the same thoughts as you were of Megan. Maybe we're going to be losing her a little bit more, but they're still announcing her for matches. Mance Warner's still working his GCW date. So I'm happy to see. I'm interested to see what they do with Mance now out of the title scene. That's always what I am concerned about with title holders that lose the belts. And then what do they do next? And especially after Mance and everything that he did to kind of help restore that feeling over this last couple months and creating the vibe and creating those matchups and those main events that leave you just happy as a GCW fan, knowing you got the blood, you got the violence, you got the craziness, you got the brawl. Like, he brought everything as a champion. And seeing him lose at a Hammerstein was disappointing on my end, as I wanted to see him walk out. this match was good. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more ultra violence, but kind of considering everything we saw that night, and I wasn't going to be getting glass or anything, I was a little, once again, salty on it. So this match kind of got a little worse and worse for me after it was first announced. But in-ring wise, they killed it. I love Mance kind of teasing like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm done. I lost the belt. I don't need to be this asshole no more.
Right.
I shake your hand, Drew. I respect you." And then him just, haha, fuck you all, like, and fuck with Drew. Loved it. I love that part. Mance is going to be just fine. I'm very interested. I want to see what they do with Mance now without having to defend his title. I hope he plays a very, very prominent role. I think him and Jimmy, has a lot to kind of get back to and have a little conversation to have of why'd you leave Deathmatch Royalty or whatnot. Maybe they could kind of have a little feud and stuff while staying in a prominent space in GCW. I don't know. I love this match, though. I just would have loved it a little bit more with the stakes and the violence and stuff. So I really wish this gets played out in a rematch again somewhere where we could see a little bit more ultra violence. And we might not even see Mance use glass again ever after his Impact days. He's got his money. He's got the pay window. We don't need to see that that beautiful wave of hair messed up now on Impact Wrestling from Mance. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it was a good match. I just was a little bit more disappointed in it. That had nothing to do with the in-ring. It was just the circumstances around it. And I would like to see it played back with a little bit different circumstances and a little bit more violence as well. But other than that, it was good. I love the character work. And Drew Parker, I just always want to see him back in GCW. And I'm happy that to see him in the London show. All right, I'm going to mess this up. This is going into our main event as it is for the GCW World Championship as Effie defends it against
Cara Noir.
Cara Noir. I was worried about Effie there. I thought I was going to say Eggy from earlier.
Oh,
honestly,
geez.
that's what I was worried about right there, saying Eggy at the first part.
Oh boy. First off, killer video leading up to the match. I don't know if anybody has a chance to check that out. Please do. And then Cara Noir's debut. Trained by IPW UK Wrestling School. That's James Davis and Zack Sabre Jr. The pageantry of their entrance was really good. I love when we can bring more art to the art of pro wrestling. So I'd have to say bravo for that. I even listen to like a lot of metal music, and some of my metal music, they have to have the pageantry. We have to have all of that. With some story time, we could have had some tremendous jealousy over Effie's title, kind of like a Black Swan. If they would have just had a little time, they could have told a tremendous story here, and I feel like that would have worked really well. Cara also reminds me of an idea, a mime wrestler, as in does everything his opponent does, moves and all. Would be kind of interesting because we all know that the greatest fighters have the hardest time fighting with themselves. And then there's an egg. They're spitting raw egg into each other's mouths. People are screaming. People were shocked. Online, live. Shock was the purpose, and that's exactly what it did. I hope people understand that. Our winner here was Effie. What were your thoughts on Effie versus Cara?
I'm about to say, Damian Sandow had no problem doing promos as the mime wrestler there, so I think it can be done. If it didn't happen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match. I kind of know why Effie wanted this match. It was a big name, and he kind of wanted to. I think he's been called for a couple times beforehand. For first side of the fence, I thought it was good. As I was saying, I don't want this to be Effie defending against local everywhere. We got to start building a story here for Effie in the title scene. So knowing though how bad Effie wanted this match, I don't mind it for a first house defense. I just wish it would have been against a more prominent name, especially after finally winning the GCW title.
I was just going to say over there, they're fairly high profile.
And that's what I was just about to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
No. And I think that's where my ignorance kind of comes in here, where for me, I don't think they're a big name, but as you said over there, Cara definitely had a huge reception. The entrances was awesome. I thought the match was good for what it was. The egg spot, not my thing. I could have done without it. And other than that, I didn't think it was a bad first defense. I just hope this isn't what Effie's title run turns into. I kind of hope this Cara Noir was a one-time only, kind of like I said, the little local thing. Hopefully we get the serious, the back against the wall Effie that we saw fighting for the belt. And I think that's the one Effie that everybody gathered around. It was kind of no nonsense Effie. We didn't get all the crazy normal Effie stuff because he was focused, and now that he's got the title, maybe you could turn that into some storyline where he's got the title, he's happy, he's going to go back to old Effie, and maybe that's what kind of cost Effie the title because of trying to make the fans happy, as what Mance was saying. I don't know. It's a first title defense and first kind of run, as I was saying earlier. They're overseas. I'm not putting too much investment into everything. I just do cool match for the crowd involved. They seem to like it, and I just want to see Effie continue a story or start a story when we come back to the States for the GCW title.
And Reed says, wait till you see the Connor Mills match. What Reed is talking about is the show that was on like the French, this is like a French or Belgium board. I think it was in France. The show that happened this past weekend, but we're not seeing it until Thursday. Connor Mills, I think, was the main event with Effie in that one. And I did hear that was a pretty good main event. And I think Connor's also a Rev Pro tag team champion off the top of my head. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going on there. And yeah, again, that's going to be on Thursday night, guys. So just in case anyone felt like they missed a show this weekend, they did, but it's not on until Thursday night.
They got me Saturday night. Was it Saturday night or was it Friday?
We were talking about it and you were going, well, because we have the two. And I'm like, oh no, we do, don't we? And then I looked and I went, oh, we only have the one. Okay, we're good.
I was sitting that night like waiting, like, where's the show at? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's being taped. I'm like, God damn, I can leave the house now.
I kind of hate that when you like mentally get prepared for something so cool as the next show, and then it's like, oh, there isn't one. You get that letdown feeling.
I had some other cool stuff I had to catch up on still too, though. But yeah, overall, I think the Live in London show was awesome. I thought the crowd energy was amazing. The crowd, the wrestlers brought it in ring. I thought it was an overall good show. Like I think if this was in the States, it would be a lot more well receptive because of all the action and energy that it had following the Hammerstein show.
And kudos for having a solid card that had some of our best GCW and still featured some local talent on it without overflowing itself with local talent. I feel like the fans there got the true GCW experience, and the GCW international fans at home got a little bit of the London treatment. And I think that was really a well-struck chord here in this one. Good balance is the best way I could put that.
Yeah, I think a good bounce back too. Not bounce back, but first show after Hammerstein to kind of lay the groundwork of what to possibly see next. And like I said, building possible feuds with Masha and Megan, or as you said, bring in more of our talent and to represent GCW instead of using a lot of the local talent. I think, as you said, it's perfectly made it this a more authentic GCW show than maybe the prior ones that we've seen over here.
2 hours and 22 minutes, dude. We did that.
God, I told you we could do this.
We did this in really good time too. And I think you're right about that too. Everybody wants to hear the reviews also. So it's kind of nice to have, your cake and eat it too on one weekend. And this is, for some people, this is where they're catching up. And some people just don't have time to watch the shows, or, one or two people, they just don't have the money. And they're like, dude, we got this for free. We're just going to catch up on here. So thank you for those who can tune in for free and check us out on there. Appreciate every one of you. And I've went way without money before, and I know what's up. So anybody who can help me out with some entertainment or something, I appreciate it. So much love back at you. I'm on this side of the entertainment now instead of asking for it for free. Do you want me to go through the upcoming shows real quick? And all right. So as I was mentioning, last weekend, we had BZW GCW Enter the Zone from France. That will premiere Thursday, January 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. This will, debut on Triller TV. I'm just looking at my notes here while I'm talking to everyone. All right. And now for the live show. This will be Friday, January 31st at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. GCW's Up All Night from Fountain Square Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't have a rundown on the card, but boy, does it look pretty freaking good so far. Also then announced for, there was announced on the London show. It's not official yet. It was also announced in Twitter Spaces by
Last
Brett.
night.
But March 30th, GCW will be back at Pop's Nightclub in Detroit, Michigan. And then on May 18th, GCW will be returning to Brett Lauderdale's hometown in Rochester, New York. So if you have a chance, check out those. Also, kind of important, this week we're going to be having, I believe, the release for the tickets for the collective here in Las Vegas. So get ready to watch out for those. Time to sell plasma, sell your body, whatever you need to do. But get that ticket money if you need to. Get to Vegas. There's plenty of places you can work in Vegas to get that money in. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people going to be here. We're going to have a great time. And I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just looking forward to April kind of thing. It's been coming to, it's already like February in a couple days. I don't know how the fuck that happened. February 2025.
We're catching up on almost a year doing this Game Changer Weekly, and that was shocking to see. Like when I looked back at the previous ones just earlier, like I saw a collective review on Game Changer Weekly. I'm like, we did the collective on Game Changer Weekly? Like I don't remember that at all. Time is flying, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. We've been at it on just Game Changer Weekly since March 5th of last year. So
Jeez.
in a little over a month, we've been on here. And looking at my list right now, we've had Stackhouse, Emmel, Radrick, Price, Blake Christian, Jack Cartwheel, Adam Galt, Lauderdale, Dan Perch, one called Manders, Bobby Flacco, Gringo Loco, Brandon Kirk, Effie, John Wayne Murdoch, Danny DeMonto will be coming up on the 11th. And then, like I said, we'll talk about the 25th.
I didn't want you to actually read no names there.
No. We're good. Also, then it looks like Rose was asking about the Patreon stuff. So Brett had asked us to do those about once every 2 weeks. So I would say expect those once every 2 weeks. It does take a little bit for me to do the homework on those and get them together. Then Brant has to get on his homework and whatnot. The next one we're going to be doing, if all goes well, should be sometime next week. And I'll just announce it now just because for Patreon people, Fight Club 2022 is going to be the next episode that we do. So we're going to go on there. We're going to do that. I don't have a complete rundown off the top. Let me see if I can even give somebody a history of GCW. Just what have we covered so far?
Backyard one.
I have to really think about it.
Art of War games. We
covered
the World on GCW.
We covered NGI 3.
Yeah, that one.
Guys, we're just getting started, guys. We're just getting started. You have a chance, definitely go over there, check it out. Brett tasked us to get on this and do it right and build a library so that if anyone has a favorite show, they can go back down the road and listen to the stories of how that show was put together. So we're just getting started on this project, but we want you to know we're super excited. Everybody's been really supportive, and we're just going to keep pushing with those. So yeah, next week we should be recording. Generally, we like to get those released within 12 to 24 hours of having them recorded. But yeah, Fight Club 2022. And yeah, we just did, what was it? The Art of War games 2021. And that was a fucking blast, guys. Yeah. Go back and watch that show. That was some great stuff there. But yeah, that's everything, I think. I know someone asked about ticket prices at one point. I found that after taxes and tickets and all that stuff, a box seat in total is $1,339. Front row is $1,025. Second row is $882. Third row is $818. And section 200 is $486. That's for the 10-pack. Of tickets for that collective weekend. If you were to get the hotel and you're here for the days that you're allotted for, the hotel would be $767. That's after I've already added in all the taxes and everything else. So, I mean, it can get a little pricey, but for people, it'll cost you about $191 a person for those days for the hotel. And If you go for section 200, you're looking at $486 for all 10. So you're talking all 10 shows in a hotel, maybe about $677. And that's not including flight, food, whatnot. So I just wanted to let everybody know that's right around what the prices are looking like right now, in case anybody didn't have a chance to go on and just check them out for themselves. I'll leave it at that.
Sorry, yeah, I was thinking of something, but I don't think we should talk about it here. It's nothing big. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm out. My brain broke there. I was thinking about something completely different there.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I just want to make sure everybody has some information on what's going on there. The single tickets will be coming out this week. Keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're on Patreon and you're at the I think you're at a proper level, you should be able to have just a little bit of an earlier crack at those tickets. Yeah, I just had... Who's over here? Oh, it's Lucy. Let me see if I can do this without fucking up my camera.
All right. There you go, at least the whole collective's still better than one ticket. Damn.
That's my golden retriever that I was just talking to Sam about. That's my dog. That's Lucy. Yeah. Yeah, Lucy's pretty famous. Everybody loves Lucy. Let's see. Yeah, that's the end of my notes, sir. Is there anything else you can think of?
No, not that I can think of. Collective. Yeah, I didn't get sorry. Yeah, collective is definitely more affordable than Mania. Mania, I saw for just like a nosebleed is like $1,000 and stuff. Like, I'm good. No way, man.
Yeah, I was hoping to go to the show just because my son he liked Cena since he was a baby, and I don't know if you saw it, maybe. Yeah, on Twitter, my wife posted, it was like 14 years ago, we were at Raw for my first time with my son. And I'm talking, he's like 7, 6, young, right? And so Cena takes off one of his sweatbands or whatever, and he throws it into the crowd. My wife caught it. And these two full-grown ass men grabbed a hold of her hand and took it, like pulled it out of her hand. And it caused a whole issue in our section because these people started yelling at these guys. And we went back and watched Raw, and you can see where both the performers stopped wrestling and turned to see what was going on. And we're on camera during all this. Oh, and wow. So Steph was mad. Oh, my wife was pissed. So she went and she actually got a Twitter account. She made one right on the spot, tagged Cena, tagged WWE, and said, hey, I paid a lot of money for front row seats so these guys could throw something to my kids so a bunch of full-grown men in their 40s can steal it out of my hands. So Cena came out after the show because they always do a dark match and, send everybody home happy. And he actually came over and he said, here, kid, hold on to these. And he gave him his headband and he gave him both of his armbands that he had on. And I'm like, oh, and you have no idea how special that was. And so yeah, that's my little Cena story, but I will never be mad at that guy. He did a wonderful thing for my kid. Never gonna complain. But yeah, those guys ended up actually leaving. The fans were so shitty with them, they actually just left. Yeah, that's WWE for you.
All right.
Anything else you can think of?
No, I think we did it. We got the interview and review done in 2.5 hours.
Wow, that's actually really good for us.
I'm about to say, yeah. I feel like I'm missing a lot more stuff I should have been saying. I guess not.
I'm looking here through. Well, yeah, Rose, great one. Reed, Clown. Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight. Always love seeing you guys in here. Who else am I missing? Because I know there was some up here that. Gosh. Okay. Chat really went far tonight again. Lawrence, Necro Eric is in here. Thank you. Good old bodyslam.net. That's you. Frankie, thanks for coming in. Frank, we love you, man. Great one. Our West Coast correspondent. Love you too, guy. Well, all right. 2.5 hours, I think, is good enough. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We had an interesting, crazy show. We started off a little late, had some audio things. Obviously, we got that under control pretty good. And, we just wanted to have a good time with Sam. He's one of the guys I really like to talk to and just had a good time. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Our next episode will be on the 4th of February. Let's see how that goes. We're going to be reviewing that show on the 30th. That's going to be coming on Thursday. We're reviewing the one that's on the 31st at Indianapolis show. So we'll have 2 reviews coming for you on this next show next Tuesday.
Oh, thank goodness it's only 2. I thought you were going to say a 3rd show. I was about to say, yeah, I'll echo John said. Sam Stackhouse, thank you again for your time. That was awesome as always. Great one. Clown, Reed, Rose, Frank, everyone that's always in here in the chat. Thank you guys as always. And yeah, I think you're going to be very pleased on February and the next couple weeks of our interviews and what we have planned for down the line. So thank you all for tuning in every week and having tonight. We didn't have any fights in the chat. It was kind of nice, calm night. I appreciate all the wellness there. Thank you all.
The AEW crazies weren't in here. You know what I mean? The more when you get more of a crowd, you're going to get a crazy in here or there. Yeah. So you know it's funny. As quick as they came, they left, and that's great. It doesn't disrupt our little ecosystem we have here.
We better hurry up before Rose starts saying something before make it up.
Rose, hit me up and I'll tell you who's going to be on in February. I know you're going to love it.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you again, everyone. And we will see you next Tuesday evening.
Long.
All right. Oh, long. I was ready to out. We're out.
Fuck it.
Live.
Long live.
G.
C.
C. W.
W. Love y'all. Good night.